DeaconLive.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Let me write this down. And we're starting a little late, Dan. It's all right. Everyone will forgive you. Ready? Here we go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I don't know what this thing is. A great gets a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Huh?
Welcome to DeaconLive.
It'll be all right.
DeaconLive.
Nope. Hey, that's us. Welcome back, guys. On today's show, how does being whiter make you cooler? And another TikTok challenge gets kids in trouble. And Oreo makes the news again, Dan. I know your favorite topic. And with Halloween approaching, watch out for ghost poops. I did say ghost poops. All this and much, much more to discuss here on Deacon Live. How are you? How are things? How are things going? And over to my far right-hand side is IT Dan. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Nice to see you. You wear that MTV shirt.
You like my MTV shirt?
Yep. I remember I was working for the cable TV when MTV came out. 1980.
81 is when MTV started.
Yeah, and the first song was "Video Killed the Radio Star"
Correct.
by the Bungles, and I remember we came out and then we had the technology back then wasn't that great in 1981, and you couldn't get MTV in stereo, so you would come and we'd put a splitter at the people's house, and then you would put a hook it up to their stereo, run a line to their stereo, and they would have to tune to channel 96.7, and then they could listen to it in stereo.
You can watch it on TV and no delay on the stereo?
No delay.
Oh, so it's kind of like being at the movie theater, the old drive-in movie theater, where they had the screen up and you had to some drive-in movie studios would make you tune in because they had a low wattage antenna. You know, like 5,000 watts, where you could tune it in on your car and then run your battery down, and everyone's stuck in the parking lot.
Yeah, and when I went to drive-in, we just had that speaker that ran with the cord, and I saw some kid running with a bunch of drinks and get clotheslined. It was funnier than anything in the movie.
Now, Dan, it is the middle of the year as school started, I guess is what I'm saying. So everyone's back in school. Everyone's, arguing about masks. They're arguing about I'm still working from home. I want my kids at home. I want my kids in school. Each county, you've seen all the stories. You heard all the, is it good for the kids to go back to school? Is it not good for the kids to go back to school? Now, me, it is, my wife wants me to go back to school. And I say that tongue-in-cheek. It's my 30-year anniversary for high school. And
damn, you're old.
And for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. And we sit on about 22 some odd acres here. We have horses and cattle and chickens and dogs and cats and all the stuff in between.
I think you should go back as long as you don't have to go to Florida or Texas.
Well, I went to high school in Florida, so I'm like debating. And as Dan knows, I'm not vaccinated, and that doesn't mean anything to anyone right now as far as me going down there or not going down there. Let me go back to that screen. But my question is, I don't want to put myself in harm's danger or harm's way. And second of all, I don't really care to see anyone from my high school day. Now, granted, I was not popular in high school, but everyone knew who I was. I was the weird kid or whatever. I don't know how they look at me now. But my wife was like, go down there, see some of your friends, get out there. You can't just sit here on the ranch, which is what we call our property, which is part farm, part ranch. You can't just sit here and I'm not just sitting here, babe. You can't just sit here and do all this, your radio stuff and your podcast stuff and all the stuff that you do. You go out and be, basically she's telling me, stop being a loser, go out there and be a human.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the risk and reward, for going down to Florida, which is a hotspot with COVID.
It's very hot. Now that doesn't bother me, but again, I don't want to put myself, it's always in the back of your mind. So let's do it this way. So the flight down there, I think round trip, she found a flight for like $278 round trip, and that's from Charlotte Douglas all the way to McCoy, which is the Orlando International Airport. So that's a good price round trip, one person. Then I have to Uber everywhere because I'm not going to have a car. So I mean, throw another $300 on that. Then to buy the tickets to all the events that are going on. It's a 4-day event now because no one can decide on when to play the damn homecoming football game.
When was the last time you talked to one of your friends from high school?
Like physically on the phone, talk to them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into details, but I know there's a lot of friends out there that I never talked to in high school, but I see like posts on Facebook and these like, I'm the only one out here. I don't feel good. And when I see that, and a lot of my friends from high school know that I've reached out to them, and I physically would call them on the Facebook. I'm like, hey man, you okay? Hey, are you doing all right? You want to talk through anything? I'm here. And he's like going, holy shit, I didn't realize you would call. I'm like, man, when you post stuff like that, I can't take it anymore. I can't do all this stuff. You start to panic. I mean, not that I knew these people personally, but I knew who they were. And Amy was like going, what are you doing? I'm like going, hold on. I'm talking to someone. And I would check up on them, make sure they're okay, and make sure everyone's good. But when you see those kind of posts on Facebook, so when you say, when's the last time I talked to someone? Not like in a casual manner. It's always been someone that I knew posted something that was like kind of like, I'm at my wit's end. I don't want to be here anymore type situation.
Okay. Yeah. See, we had a gang of about 7 kids in our neighborhood that all hung around together. We played baseball, football, watched, listened to records and things.
Right.
And there's only 2 of us left, me and Jimmy. My friend Eddie, I would call him every single day and talk to him. He died in beginning of 2019, January 2019. But I would call him and keep in contact with him. I've lost touch with Jimmy. Last time I called, he's changed his phone number to a cell or something. I don't have him. So, but there's nobody in high school that I keep in touch with or could care less about going to a reunion.
And for our listeners out there, they don't realize that Dan's a little bit older. What year did you graduate from high school?
I graduated in 71. And actually, I do have a couple friends, from Kathy's grade, that we still keep in touch with them and see them, some of her girlfriends. 22 year difference between the two of us. So when you say you can't get in contact with them and then people are dying, they're not dying, I don't want to say because of something. They're dying because they're getting old. None of these have died from COVID.
Okay. But so when you ask me if I've reached out to anyone, no, I other than the Facebook stuff and like the click and like and the comment and the happy and the sad and the likes and stuff, no, I haven't really talked. I literally sat down. I said, you know what? I haven't wanted to there's not that like a group of people saying, I want to see those people. Now I didn't do the 10-year anniversary. I didn't do the 15. I didn't do the 20, the 25. Here we're coming up on 30. And it's not even like, not that I don't want to see anyone, but it's like, I can't think of anyone that I can say, oh, I really want to see this person or like an ex-girlfriend or anything like that. It's not that type of situation because I was like, I'm good now. My wife goes, well, that's debatable.
Well, here's a question for you. Is this why you're on that macaroni diet? Because you're trying to lose weight to look good for that reunion?
No, it's the Mediterranean diet. And I said to my wife, because she was all ready to go. We were all pumped up on a Sunday afternoon after a couple cocktails. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going. I'm doing it. I'm going down there. And Monday morning, I'm like going, God, I was thinking about the money, the $300 plus the flight and then the $175 for the whole bonus package, and then for me to eat and all. I said, babe, it's going to cost $1,000 for a 4-day weekend to see people that might remember me, might not remember me.
Yeah, and my own, it's a COVID hotspot, and I'm hotspot
and a hot pit too.
Yeah, and I'm vaccinated, and I wouldn't go to Florida. That's just me.
So what's the latest with you, Dan?
Well, yesterday I had to take my wife to the doctor's.
Is she okay?
She's got all kinds of issues. 100 different health things. We could take 2 hours talking about them.
Right.
But, she had to go down for a blood test. And the last time we were at the doctor's, we scheduled 2 appointments. And the girl goes, yep, I got him 100%. You're taken care of. We went down. She went a blood test appointment, went to the doctor's, and they go, we canceled your appointment. This is after she fought them the last time she was down there. And she goes, what about my husband's appointment? We canceled that.
So you went all the way down there and both
Yeah, an hour drive.
and both appointments are already canceled?
Yeah, and they canceled, and I didn't have a text message, an email, or anything.
So what was the reason behind that?
They said that the nurse that does those is not working for them anymore. She quit,
She
and,
quit.
and
Like
they're
the
not
whole
replacing.
the whole entire planet or the whole entire workforce is quitting. So how did they contact you to verify your?
They said that they called and left a voicemail, and I looked on my voicemails, and I did not have any from that phone number for them. I got up my phone and
Dan,
showed it
how
to
many
the girl.
voicemails do you get per day?
I probably get about 6 a day because it's from telemarketers call, and they just, you get the voicemail and it's nothing. You play it and there's nothing.
And what was
on
the
it,
reason
so-
behind it? I mean, were they able to get anyone in, you or your wife?
No, they couldn't get either of us in. They set up new appointments for us at the end of November.
Total
November
waste.
23rd.
Total
Yeah.
waste of time.
Yeah, total waste of our time. And then, and I said, this is the 21st century. You sent me a text message confirming it, and it says press yes to confirm.
Actually, it says press
confirm.
Y.
Yeah, we press Y to confirm, and I did that, and my wife did that, and she goes, "Well, that's not from us. That's from another office." And I said, "How can you have the technology to send me a text to confirm something, but you don't have the technology just to send me a text saying it's canceled?"
How about this? Pick up the phone, dial 704, whatever your phone number is here in the Carolinas, and then
Yeah, if you don't get a hold of somebody and you get a voicemail, call them back a second time.
They don't
Take a
have,
little
they don't
effort,
have
yeah.
time for that, Dan.
Yeah,
they don't have time for that. All right, but we appreciate all the time that you guys are giving us right here on Deacon Live. Stick around. You ever seen those markings on the trees? It's getting closer to Halloween time. I'll tell you what those markings on the trees are when we come back. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. No, if you hide it, that's fine.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
All right. All you guys watching us on Facebook and Twitch and our Facebook fanbook page, stick around. Actually, we'll post this whole video. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks and all that stuff. Thank you, guys. Take care. The show's still going on, just not with you. You have to go somewhere else to see it. Bye. Yeah, I looked up and it was like at the 8-minute mark. I'm like, oh, I know Dan's got a long story, so.
But what about Gerard Butler?
Oh, him and Ryan Reynolds were just going back and forth. Can you believe he's never seen one of my movies? And they're all doing. Him and his wife is trying to raise money for whatever. And Gerard Butler's like, oh, and I've never seen any of your movies. He's like, all right, outside the movies, I'm going to challenge you. You donate to whatever my wife's charity is, and I'll match whatever you. And then they got back and forth. A lot of things she doesn't.
What does it say? Dan has been blocked. Oh,
well, I'm going to talk
there.
about that here in just one sec. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Oh, those look good.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the social contact section. You can see all the stuff that links us to you to us as well. And over to my far right-hand side, a very familiar voice, if you're doing all the social contacts, is actual IT Dan.
Yes, good afternoon.
And hold on, he also does a podcast called "Is This Going Somewhere?" and it's all the trials and tribulations of what Dan's going through in this big wide planet of ours. How he's dealing with COVID, how he's dealing with the workforce, and doing all that stuff as well. Now, the latest episode, Dan, you don't know this, but you got us banned from Facebook for 24 hours.
Oh, I did not know. How did I do that?
So. The latest episode of Is This Going Somewhere? It's season 6, episode 5. Now, you can follow. We've been doing, or Dan's been doing it for almost 2 years now. You can start at season 1, and you can listen to all the stories that Dan has to talk about. And some of them are short. Some are like 5-6 minute long stories, and some of them get really in depth with as far as dealing with COVID and dealing with the presidency and everything that's changing and everything. And those get about, 30, 35 minutes long. But it's a great follow Dan's story through the whole entire thing. And the latest episode, now, when we do an episode, we have to do a thumbnail. So it kind of brings people in. And it says, season 1 or whatever, season 1, episode 1. And it's got a thumbnail to give you an idea of what that episode is going to talk about. Well, the latest one, season 6, episode 5, is about Dan talking about having problems with the your computers, being the nuts and bolts of the house of your establishment, and so this is the actual. Hold on, and for every podcast we do, we also have a matching video as well. And the way you see that is go over to prophetradio.com. This is the icon the thumbnail for the I'm the Nuts and Bolts latest season 6, episode 5 podcast. Is this going somewhere? Hold on, give it a minute because it takes a while for some reason.
That's because you use Windows Photo.
So there it is. That what you tell me what you can see there, Dan.
You can see it seems to be a. I would
Easy.
think a young girl, and it shows some.
She's working on the nuts and bolts.
Yes, yeah, and she's very close to the nuts.
Yeah. So I put this up there, and I take the logo, and of course, like they do when anyone's naked or anything, you put it over the naughty bits, right? So if you were to look at this video or this picture right here, unless you saw the whole entire picture, would you say she's just holding? She's eating something.
I don't think it's something my wife would like to look at. Let's put it that way.
Right. So there you go. And we got banned for that. So I had to change it to this one right here. This is the new thumbnail for that video. I'm the nuts and bolts, and it's you banging on a computer. So
yeah, that's probably a little more safe for work.
Okay. Yeah. Not safe for work and safe for work.
Yeah. And I mean, you listen to my podcast and you just see exactly how screwed up I am. And you say, gee, I feel better with myself already.
Now, right now, it is getting that time where a lot of people, the weather's starting to get a little cooler. Well, it's here in the Carolinas, and people are starting to go out there and hike. There's a terrible story that's going on over there in the Tetons over in the Yellowstone National Park and stuff. That's a terrible story.
Oh, about that girl,
Yeah.
Gabby. I just look at her and I said, what a waste. It's sad.
I know, it is very sad. But sometimes you'll see if you're walking through the woods, you'll see markings on a tree. Dan, have you ever seen like markings on a tree and you wonder, is it a cult that's out here? Is this warning to people that you're going to get murdered on the trail that you're hiking on?
I see a few of them, but to be honest, I don't know a lot about them.
Okay. So this right here is what's going on. If you see paint on the trees, this is actually what it means. Whether you're walking along the city sidewalks and hiking deep in the woods, you might occasionally see paint marking on the tree trunks or on the trees themselves. These are codes by the forestry workers and contractors to pass along the range of messages throughout the trees to chop one down, or if these trees need to have treatment.
Oh, okay. Oh, all cities have codes for marking trees. Let's use Boulder, Colorado as an example. In Boulder, when you see a dot at the base of the tree, it signifies it needs treatment for emerald ash borer, M scale, or drippy blight. Paint dots at head height mean the tree needs pruning.
Pruning.
Yes, pruning. I'm new to this country here, so that's pretty good. It's inconspicuous, but the people looking at it are gonna. I do see things like that, but I've never thought much about it.
So basically, the trees are marked for some kind of whether it's property markers or trail marker, or if the tree has some kind of disease that needs to be fixed. And there's markings on the bottom of the tree, like the base of the tree, or up by your eyesight level. So if you see those, don't freak out. There are circles, X's, and dots in various colors, which identify the trees to either be cut or the hazardous ones, which actually should be left alone. And there's in the western states, painting a ring, like a ring on the tree, means that there is a rare species or something in the tree, like a woodpecker or something in the tree. Don't touch these trees. And then some of them, they have like pine beetles where they actually have to get those things out of there. So,
and what's interesting, if you go to some of the Civil War sites, you will go and look and they can see where the bullets have gone through the trees during the Civil War, but they're all 12 or 15 feet high because the trees have grown so much in
that makes sense.
that year. So
that's really neat. That's very interesting. Now, Dan, everyone on the planet's trying to be green, right? We're trying to save energy. We're trying to figure out ways with electric cars. The LED lights are now good. And granted, watch 15 years down the road, they're going to say all LED lights is what actually gave us, cancer or more cancer, or it helps the spread of COVID. Something stupid like that. I mean,
and the only one who's really truly green is Kermit.
MIT engineers develop plants that emit light. Now, you've heard like glow-in-the-dark stuff.
Glow-in-the-dark sticks.
Yep.
And light.
So MIT has been a long basin of tech research and advancements, and perhaps they just did it again. A recent report announced that the MIT engineers have managed to create plants that emit light. Now, when I say that, technically glow-in-the-dark plants. I think of like Avatar. I think of that movie where all the plants are kind of lit up, or when you get close to them, they light up. These plants, the light that these plants produce, according to the MIT, are no pushover either. They're getting brighter. Now in 2017, they're 10 times brighter than the plants that they created in 2017.
What do they use? Nanoparticles?
They're using to achieve this feat, engineers use nanoparticles, thanks for reading ahead, Dan, that could store and gradually release light. They've been embedded with nanoparticles in the leaves, and once the light runs out, it just needs about 10 seconds of LED lights to recharge. Can you imagine that, Dan? If you had all these plants, and you're like going, well, what do we need light up plants for? Well, what would you use light up plants for? So normally, like your walk down the sidewalk, is, there's a lot of...
I have LED lanterns along my walkway and at the end of my driveway.
So if you had, like, on a sidewalk, a lot of people will in cities will cut out a square to put a tree in there and have the tree hang over, but then right behind it, there's a city street light behind it. They're working on, hopefully... gaining more momentum. Right now, it's just little simple stuff like basil type leaves, and pothos. You know what a potho or an elephant ear?
Yeah, but they won't be charged. They'll be. They're not going to be sold or anything. They're just going to grow into the plant itself.
Well,
That's pretty cool.
they're working on getting the trees to actually light up. So eventually, I don't know if it's 10 years, 15 years, or whatever in our lifespan, that the trees will actually light up to light the pathways, and will eliminate the whole use of, lighting energy. Right now, our power sources are using, 20% of our whole entire world's energy consumption is used just for lighting alone.
I wouldn't have thought that.
So I'm thinking, can't we just go back to the old days of fire and candles or torches and lanterns? I mean, to light your house?
Well,
I know it gets hot.
My wife has got some oil lamps, and I said, no fucking way we're going to light them up, because all you do is knock one of them over, your house.
What are you running around the house willy-nilly with your arms akimbo?
Things happen, and one of those falls over, your house is gone. Forget about it.
I've never understood why a house catches on fire, hear me out, and they blame it on candles being left burning. I've never understood that reason.
No, unless the cat tipped them over or something.
Well,
like
okay,
that. Yeah.
so then you don't say the house burned down on sycamore and pine because they left the candles burning. Most candles are in somewhat of a safe container, like a glass container, or they burn into themselves. I'm not talking about candelabra candles, where they're on a long stick, like in the horror movies and Dracula movies or anything like that. I've never understood why. But they scare you. The news scares you to say, "Oh, don't leave your candles burning," because, or if it's too close to like a curtain or something.
Draperies, and there's usually more than just a candle involved in it. So.
Now, Dan, speaking of saving energy, how is you ever gotten the phone calls for the, am I speaking to the owner of the household?
No, they all direct them right to you. I forward them right to your house.
Do you spend more than $100 on your power bill? And I'm like thinking to myself, who doesn't spend more than $100 on their power bill? How much is your power bill, Dan? Not to get into your personal business.
Usually about $225 a month.
And who's your power company? I'm not selling you any solar panels, believe me.
Oh, I am the owner of my house.
I know, but
I pay the bills. That's all I'm telling you.
Okay.
No, actually, it's about $225 a month.
I know, but who's your power company?
Randolph Electric.
Okay, so do they have a system set up to where you can pay a flat fee per month, and then at the end of the month they'll adjust your fee for the next following year?
They might, but I just want to pay as I go.
So, for example, here on the French, we've got two power boxes. We have a power box that runs the arena lights and the pasture lights and the whole barn down there. That's one bill. And then we have a bill here for the house itself.
That runs your PlayStation.
Runs my PlayStation, runs the TVs, runs this studio right now. And you're just eating up my energy, Dan. Really, you are.
Hey, I shut the air conditioner off.
But I got Duke Energy, and what they do is they go, okay, this household per year, let's say it's $10,000. No, can I say that? Hold on. Where's my math book? Anyways, they say your average household power usage is $225 a month. Now, in February, January, the cold months, we don't have electric heat. We have gas heat. So the power bill is like $120. But then when the AC kicks on, it's probably like $320 during the hot months. So they just take the average of what it is for the month or for the year, and you just pay that one flat fee. So you know exactly what that power bill is. You don't want to be slapped with it, like in Florida, a $400 power bill in the middle of August. So it's just one flat fee, and then they adjust it year up or year down, depending on your stuff right now. So one thing, your AC unit eats up the most, I think it's like 60% of the power in your house as far as your actual power bill.
And we have 2 AC units.
You have upper and lower.
Yes.
Now, what SEER are they?
One's 14 SEER, one's 11. I have an older one.
Yeah,
so
the 11 one's eating up a lot of power. Is that the upper or lower?
That's the lower one.
Oh, well, goddamn. Goddamn, Dan. Now, scientists have now created the whitest paint that's ever been made. Ever. Think about it. Now, last week we were talking about...
Purer than ultra white.
Yep, I remember Bear saying this. The titanium oxide is the whitest paint that you can actually ever get and achieve. And they said that... you remember they were talking about the clouds? They were trying to make the clouds whiter to reflect...
Make them reflective. Yeah.
So now this company right here has created the whitest paint, and it could help on your energy costs. The paint that is now made is the Guinness World Book of Records as the whitest paint ever made. The idea was to make the paint that would reflect sunlight away from the building. The paint reflects about 98.1% of solar radiation while emitting infrared heat.
Yeah. The whitest paint in the world is created at a lab at Purdue University. A paint so white it could eventually reduce or even eliminate the need for air conditioning, scientists say. The paint's made it to the Guinness Book of Records, as you said. Why did they create a paint? It turns out that breaking a world record wasn't the goal. Curbing global warming was. When they started the project about 7 years ago...
Did you just burp? Did you burp?
I might have, but I didn't yawn. When they started this about 7 years ago, they had saving energy and fighting climate change in mind. And, the idea is to make a paint that reflects sunlight away from a building. And I know when I go outside and I'm working, if I'm working out in the yard in the sun, I will wear a white shirt. It reflects it, and it's a world of difference between, in the summer I will wear a white shirt.
So what they're saying is the paint absorbs less heat from the sun and then emits it. The surface coating of paint can be cooled below and cool everything down. There was a roof coating, I remember, for mobile homes. It was called Cool Deck or Cool Seal or something.
Cool Seal.
Yeah, Cool Seal that you would put on top of
It's a silver, that would reflect it.
Right, so this is the same thing. Using this new paint to cover a roof area about 1,000 square feet could result in the cooling power of 10 kilowatts. I guess that's
more power than the air conditioners used by most houses.
So there you go. I mean, there is a white paint that's out there, and who knows how much it's going to cost.
And I have charcoal on my roof, and if you get a white roof...
You have a charcoal color on your roof.
Yeah, charcoal color, yes. Yeah, I use crayons, charcoal crayons. I have, it's charcoal color, and it's the worst, but any of the light colors, they show up, they just look awful after 2 years. The stains all over them and everything.
And we just redid our roof, and we got the like almost probably the same color as you, a light gray, smoke gray shingle, but asphalt shingles. And asphalt shingles, they say, the thicker they are, the less likely that heat's going to resonate through your attic space. I don't know. I've been up in the attic.
Yeah, and they also
hot.
have reflective panels that you can put underneath them before you put your roof down. There's a whole bunch of different things that reflect it.
All right. All right, when we come back, Dan, are you a big KFC fan?
I went there. I got some the other day.
Now, would you steal from KFC? Don't answer that, because when we come back, I want to hear your answer. Would you ever steal from KFC? You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
I have a non-disclosure from them. That was my first job. We'll get into that.
Okay. I got to teach you how to drink off mic and burp off mic.
Well, it was burp.
When you do that, it's like me just clinking and wrinkling right here. You got to literally just pull yourself away from the phone. Yeah, and don't do that either. Was I getting on your case about?
You said not to yawn. You never say anything about burping.
Where are you going?
Do you remember Ryan LeDuc?
Yeah. I was friends with him on Facebook for a while. He was trying to sell solar panels for a while.
Yeah. and he gets into all kinds of. He's messed up. He was telling me that he was telling me that Colonel Sanders was never in Kentucky.
Okay, we're going to talk about KFC. We're going to talk about this. And then we'll do today's show, KFC, Kill It, and then Devious Legs. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You can probably hear right now the rain coming down here at the studio. And for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. And they're saying that the weather, I guess, is going to be raining for the next 3 or 4 days. And then we're going to get temperatures not reaching above 70 degrees. And over to my far right-hand side, way below 70 degrees, is IT Dan. How are you?
Way below 70 IQ.
Right.
Let's get that straight. Yeah, the rain feels good. It's nice.
Well, I mean, it's nice, but it's humid out there.
Yeah, it's just nice to have it. I planted new trees. I've been watering them every day, and it's nice to get some natural rains.
Now, with the weather being hot out there, especially in the Florida area, and we were talking about saving money on your AC by painting everything white, or this new paint that's coming out. Are you familiar with? I think it's the Today Show. Hold on, let's see. Where is it at? Hold on. Did I pull the right one? Yeah, I pulled it twice. That's why. Hold on one sec. Don't say anything. Are you saying anything?
I'm thinking.
That's right. Here we go. So the Today Show is it's filmed up in New York City. And you know how, hold on one second, there's a video right there. And don't forget, for every podcast that we do, we have a matching video as well. And you can see this video in a real tandem as we talk about here on the show. Now, in New York City, they did this like when MTV, speaking of my MTV shirt, they would film with the glass, the background of Times Square in the background. So you have all these glass panels and you can see everyone holding the signs and everything.
Yeah, go Al Roker and go this.
Yeah,
and,
do all that stuff. Well, right now, a streaker... Just when America was sipping their first cup of coffee and getting ready to enjoy the Today Show at 7 o'clock in the morning this past weekend, a streaker was on the loose in the studio windows. So here we go. If you want to see this right here, go over to ProfitRadio.com, click on Deacon Live, and you can see this video in real time. So let me make sure I got all the volumes on and the right screen so we can all be friends. You ready? Here we go. So they're coming back from break, and there's Hoda and the other two people on here, and you can see the guy right there. There he goes. You see him?
Yeah, I just saw him run by. I got a feeling that if everything happens, he's just going to go to small claims court. It's always something.
Now, I don't know if he meant to do that on purpose because he had no idea when they were coming to and from break. Maybe he was just running up and down the street of all the different, behind all the studios that were broadcasting that day. So that guy kind of ran out there. It was kind of funny to see that. We're still human beings out there and we're still trying to make it through this wild and crazy planet that we live on right now. Now, wild and crazy planet that we live on right now. Dan, we got into a heated discussion. And if you want to hear Dan and I's heated discussions about COVID and the things that go on in this planet, this show is light and fluffy. We try not to bore you and try not to beat you up too bad with all the gloom and doom that's happening. There's a podcast that we do. It's a little bit more in depth. It's called Is This Going Somewhere? You can find them on iHeartRadio as well. And so this guy right here is... in Australia, they get one episode of COVID in a town, they will shut the whole town down.
Why do they do that?
Because they have it's a socialist socialist community, and they have the government that can do that.
And they're trying to save lives, though.
Well, they're trying to save lives, but what happens is you get someone with COVID, and what do? Everyone's got to stay home, and you put that person with COVID in the home, guess what? And the person's got, 9 people living in that home, one's going to be 9. And then the 9 is going to be, and then you have to wait 2 weeks for those 9 people, whoever's living in that household, to, surpass or die or whatever that is.
We went to visit our friend in an assisted living place. And when you go in, you have to log in, put your phone number, answer about 4 questions about COVID, and put your face in front of the screen, and they take your temperature, and then you print out a badge. But if somebody comes in there someone does, they have. It's the only place I've seen ever that has a track of it, and they can see if somebody went to visit this person, someone has COVID, they can track it down.
And the nursing homes, you said it was a nursing home?
Well, that's assisted living.
Assisted living, kind of the same thing. I mean, you slap a label on it.
Well, she just has she has her own little apartment there, and you can go down and they have food in the kitchen for
And
$3,000 a month.
Yeah, and that has the widest spread out of all of them, out of all the places that are going on because of their susceptibility. Now, in New Zealand, a little town by the name of Auckland. New Zealand police said they arrested 2 men smuggling a certain item into Auckland. And you say, well, why would they arrest them for smuggling in this
Not
stuff?
drugs or anything.
Not drugs. This is the second time they have snuck in fast food and lead to charges because of the city's restriction on the COVID-19 lockdown. They have smuggled in KFC, and they had about $70,000 in cash as well. Now, they assumed that these guys are part of a gang. They're gang associates. Businesses are reopening at midnight, and the line at one Auckland McDonald's went all the way around the corner. So what's happening is these people are going outside this community, Auckland or whatever it's called, to go buy fast food from other places that are open all the time because they're not on lockdown. But here's the thing. There's a traveling ban in between.
So they have to smuggle it in.
So they have to smuggle it in. Right here, Dan. Take it away.
Yeah, 2 New Zealand men were arrested on Sunday after attempting to cross the Oakland border with a car full of Kentucky Fried Chicken, fries, and 10 tubs of coleslaw, the police said. They identified the pair as gang associates and found over 100,000 New Zealand dollars, which is $70,000 American cash, and in empty ounce bags along with a large amount of seafood. So they, did a U-turn and tried to evade.
Amount of fast food, not
fast
seafood.
food, yeah. And they did a U-turn and tried to avoid the police. But my very first job was KFC when I was probably like 17. I worked there.
And how did that go?
You worked in the kitchen. You mixed up the coleslaw, and you had to be careful. Cooking it, you could burn yourself. It was like 412 degrees, pressure cooking the chicken. But it was an interesting job.
What year was this?
Had to be 1968 or 69.
How was the chicken shipped to you? Was it shipped in 5-gallon, not 5-gallon buckets, or was it frozen?
Oh, no, that wasn't frozen. It all came in. Let me think of
Take your time. It's only a live show.
I know. It wasn't frozen. It would come in racks, and we would you would take it off they were in bags, and it was already breaded.
Is it bags or racks, Dan?
It was bags, but they had them all on racks in the refrigerator. But they were refrigerated, and you'd drop them in the thing, and then put the pressure cooker on and cook it. So.
Okay.
And the place was clean. We had the walls, everything. It was very sanitary.
So what year?
Yeah.
You said this was 1960.
1969.
So when did KFC start? When did KFC start?
1952, year before I was born.
Okay, so they've been in business for, do the math on that, Dan.
Oh, okay. That's 48 years.
No, I mean, when did you start there?
I started in 69, 17 years.
So
after
17 years. So do you think, I hate to say, what was the number of KFCs back then? I mean, they probably didn't have a whole lot of them.
No, there weren't a lot. But when I was a kid, they had McDonald's and Burger King, and it's all I can remember around there.
So I guess what I'm saying is, as the economy and the world has progressed, as far as, our demand for fast food, they now no longer serve, everything comes in frozen. Everything comes in flash frozen. Everything's all ready to go, and you're just dropping it in because they have to get up and go and do their next delivery.
You can get KFC anywhere on this planet except Oakland and New Zealand. That's the one place.
Yeah, during that time. Now, we were talking about trees and plants and the wonderful landscape that is our country here in the United States. These guys right here are not welcome in the United States. Now, not the guys that were stealing the KFC and bringing it to...
Do you think that the cops ate all that food? They're not going to save it for evidence, are they?
Well, who knows? Now, there's a beautiful spotted insect flying around the United States right now. It's a beautiful, beautiful little moth, almost looks like a butterfly. They actually called it the lantern butterfly. And you know what they want you to do with it? As soon as you see it, take a picture of it and then step on it. They want you to squish it. They want you to kill it. They want you to get rid of this thing. At first glance, the adult lanternfly is what it's called, is a beautiful spectacle with spotted, bright red wings and little bumblebee-esque body. As the species continues to trek across the United States, the federal and state officials have sent a message out saying, kill this insect.
Okay, the lanternfly is an invasive species from China that wreaks havoc on agriculture. They aren't physically harmful to humans, but they threaten everything from oak, walnut, poplar trees, grapes, almonds, and fruit orchards. And they're first detected in 2014, in Pennsylvania, but now they've gone to 9 other states, primarily in the Northeast. But some of these creatures you get in and they're very nice looking, but so they're flying or they just walk around?
Well, they're highly concentrated in Pennsylvania, and they said that they came in on a shipment of stone or rock from China, and they said that they have no natural predators over here. Now over in China, there's a certain wasp that eats them, probably the murder hornet. Probably eats them. And now here in the United States, we now have a reason to keep the murder hornets here in the United States. If we can't kill these bugs fast enough, we send the murder hornets out to get them. Essentially is what they're, kind of saying at the same sense. But if you look at them here, and you can see this picture by going over to profitradio.com, click on DeaconLive. And for every podcast we have a matching video as well. Look at him, Dan. Can you describe what he looks like?
Yeah, it looks like it's got like black spots on it. I'm colorblind, but that doesn't look very colorful, that picture there of it.
So this is it with his wings closed. It's very small. And then when he flaps his wings open, his body has a red, black, and white stripes across him. He very colorful. The problem that they're having with it, you're like going, well, why should we kill these things? Well, what they're doing is they bite at the tree. The tree creates a sap, and then they feed on the sap. Well, now the tree's got an open wound, and part of the thing eating the tree sap produces what they call soot mold on the leaves.
Okay.
And soot mold on the leaves, if we know anything about photosynthesis,
it's going to strangle them out.
It'll strangle the tree out, and then the tree will die. So what they're saying right now is to go out there and strangle these things and kill them. Now, here in TikTok land, Dan, have you signed up for TikTok yet?
No, I haven't signed. I'm still getting more milk cartons to climb on before I sign up for TikTok.
Well, Publix actually was having to bring all their milk cartons because they usually stack them up outside for TG Lee to come by and, rotate the cycle out. They were having to lock everything up inside now. And online...
It's a scary world we live in.
Online to buy like a regular milk carton crate was like 50 cents. They bumped the price up so high to like $7, $8, if not $20 for a milk crate to just either take advantage of the situation or just to deter the situation. Now, there's a new phase going out there right now that's called Devious Licks. Now, it sounds kind of pornographic.
Yeah, I would say that.
Kind of like Dan's Is This Going Somewhere thumbnail that we got banned on TikTok. That was kind of a devious lick.
YouTube
what?
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube, yeah. No, we were banned on Facebook for that photo.
Okay.
Right now, schools are being engulfed by the devious lick. When I say schools, high schools, junior highs and stuff. Now, Dan, think about your everyday things that you when you walk into society, you go to the store, you go do these things, you all do these things. You expect certain things to be there. For example, prime example is, not that a lot of people are doing this now, but drinking just from a normal public water fountain. They've got that little round circle on it with the little thumb groove or thumb.
Or you'll have a whole bar that you push.
Or a whole bar, but normally like the old school one, and it's got the little thumb where you can put your thumb on it, and then you take a drink of water, and then you release the thumb thing, and then you're on about your day. And when those are gone, they suck. You have to sit there and like twist with your hand like you're twisting a nut off of a bolt or something like that to get the water to come out. And you're like going, why would someone take this? Well, that's what a devious lick is. And that's what's hitting the high schools.
So they take like toilet handles. And
They
things.
take the littlest things that make our life simple on every day that we expect it to be there, and just to make a little bit of havoc on stuff. As if schools across the country didn't have enough to worry about about this whole, the COVID-19 and all that. In the middle of this, high school students are vandalizing bathrooms and the whole school hallways in this TikTok trend called devious licks.
Yeah, students are taking tests, but like it said, bladders, they're being tested, And in Tempe, Arizona, I heard about it one week when he picked up a teenager from school. And he said, no, I need to go to the bathroom, like immediately. And they said, there's no bathrooms in school today. And what happened? He said the bathrooms he told her were closed. The only open one is the nurse's office, which meant a long line of uncomfortable students. And, well, destruction in the bathrooms happened. The soap dispensers stolen, mirrors broken, sinks ripped off walls. It's TikTok is banning these, aren't they?
Well, they're not banning them. They're just letting you know that these are the devious licks that's going on. You ever walk down a hallway and there's like a little digital clock that sticks out in the middle of the hallway? Like if you're in high school, I know I didn't have them in high school, but just the round, let's say the round, I forget what the brand is, the round clock that's on the wall.
Yeah, we had those. We did not have digital clocks at school.
in the high schools, they're actually zip tying them to the brackets so no one can go up there and take the digital clocks off. It'd be the equivalent of, taking it out of Mr. Matthews' class, his digital or his round clock that you sat there and looked at the second hand go by, just popping it off the wall, sticking it in your backpack and taking off. So they're stealing these little things that we look at and look for every day just to make our life easier. And it's called devious licks.
That's what happened to my door handle's missing on my new truck. I just bought a truck from you.
Right.
The passenger side door handle's missing.
Maybe someone came out there and said, you know what? I'm not going to steal his driver's side because he uses that all the time and he would notice it right away when it was missing. I'm going to steal the left-hand side because he probably uses it once or twice. I've seen his wife. Yeah. She probably doesn't ride in the vehicle with him that often. And when she does, she's going to be mad at him. He's going to be mad that the handle's gone. And it's a long cascading story as far as...
Now I know who to blame.
There you go. All right, we come back, guys. We'll get up to speed with technology with IT Dan. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Proper Radio. I'll be right back. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, it reminds me of a old Dylan song. The pump don't work because the vandals took the handles.
Well,
can I say it?
You can say it.
Will you cut it out?
No. You got to be quick, Dan.
This woman texted me. I got a message from AT&T, said they will soon lock my device. Please clear spam messages now.
Don't do it, Dan. It's a trap. Oh, shit.
But did you print something?
No. Remind me to, if you can, after the opening of the show.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be annoying for me, but when I play videos and stuff on the air, I'm not recording it unless I hit this button right here.
Okay, so I have to try to remind, just when you're playing a video or just at the beginning of the show, remember to remind you about the button?
Once we do the whole thing, and then we take a break, tell me at the first break,
okay,
hey, make sure you hit the button. Because then all the stuff that I play on all the videos and stuff, all the background, I know we were reading a whole lot, but I mean I can push it in. Is the Today Show where they were screaming, "Oh my God, look the guy! Oh my God, look the guy!" That didn't record. Look, because it's right here. Watch. You see a big blank space right here.
Can you put that in?
Yeah, right there. Yeah, see, that's it.
Well, didn't we have a spot where you told me, wait a minute, you were looking something up and you told me not to say anything?
Right there. There's the blank space for the video.
Okay.
So I can re-record it and put it back in there, but...
Just remember what I said.
What'd you say?
I didn't say anything, I don't think.
All right, you ready? Yeah? No?
I'm ready.
Okay. Welcome back to Deacon Live. It is now time for Up to Speed with Technology with IT Dan.
Hey, good afternoon. This is a very interesting article I saw. Iran's top nuclear scientist was assassinated by a killer artificial intelligent machine gun that allowed a sniper. He was based 1,000 miles away. He fired 15 bullets after a disguised spy car had pinpointed his location. So the Israelis were after this nuclear physicist, and he was ambushed while driving to his home. And they said there was a Mossad sniper. He pulled the trigger from an undisclosed location more than 1,000 miles away from satellite.
So you're saying that this nuclear science in Iran, not to get too political or anything. So who assassinated him? What group?
The Mossad did in Israel.
Okay, and they assassinated him because of
he's having a charge of illegal nuclear. They don't want to get nuclear weapons.
So why don't they just put him in jail?
Well, he's from another country. Israel, it's illegal for, Iran. I don't want to get political.
Right.
But they didn't want this guy to make a nuclear bomb, and he was in charge of it.
Get rid of the source, you get rid of the problem.
Yeah, get rid of the source, get rid of the problem. And they had
And they shot him with a remote control gun, like a sniper?
They set a Nissan pickup truck up on the side of the road. They jacked it up. They had a tire off of it. It looked like it was broke down. And it had a tarp over it, and it had a machine gun that was artificial. The machine gun weighed over a ton. They had to take the machine gun, disassemble it, smuggle it into the country, assemble it, and put it on that truck. And they had it figured out that there was a 1.6 second delay between the camera. They had cameras there filming the car and the vehicle.
So this is the technology part of this whole
the
section.
Technology. I love the technology part. That they had one car a quarter mile down the road that videotaped him and let him know where the guy was sitting in the car. And then they timed it and had a 1.6 seconds from the camera video that they have to come up to the satellite and to reach the assassin, and for him to pull the trigger.
If they would have had Google Fiber, it would have been less than that.
And they shot, and from over 1,000 miles away.
1,000 miles.
1,000 miles away.
Not feet.
No, 1,000 miles away. He shot. The sniper pulled the trigger. He shot the guy in the car, and his wife was sitting right next to him, and she was unscathed. And then he got out of the car. And they shot 15 more times and killed him when he got out of the car. And no other persons were injured at all in it. So, it was surgical. Yeah.
1,000 miles, Dan.
Yeah, 1,000 miles was remote control.
Is from New York to...
Yeah, to North Carolina.
To North Carolina, maybe. I think that's 800, 900 miles.
Yeah, so it could be from Boston to here.
Now, what if there was like a tree or something in the way?
Well, no. He had the where the gun was right on the road, right where the guy was driving. The truck was right on the side of the road, shooting him there. But the guy who was doing it was by remote control, looking at all the cameras that they had, looking at the cameras, and then they figured out there's a 1.6 second lag, and he just might as well have been there. But,
so you're saying the guy was 1,000 miles away?
The guy who pulled the trigger that did everything was 1,000 miles away, a marksman. But the truck and everything was set up. If you did this in a movie, you go, what an awesome scene. But, I mean, just technologically, the fact that they were able to do that, figured out the time-second delay, had the cameras all set up. So it was like he was there.
So once the guy got shot, I mean, everyone gets out of the car and goes, Mahid Mahoush is shot. Are they looking around?
Yeah, they're probably looking around to see where's the sniper, and all there is a Nissan pickup truck.
Did they see the Nissan pickup truck?
Well, yeah, but the Nissan pickup truck had the tire off and the jack, and it made it look like it was broke down on the side of the road.
Did they self-destruct it like mission completed?
I would hope they would, just so they don't get the gun. It was a Belgian-made gun that weighed over a ton. It was a specialized gun. I mean, just the fact, to me, technologically, all the research and planning, and to do something, and I plan to cook my eggs and something happens between now and then.
Jeez.
So, yeah, I mean, I just thought the technology was fantastic on it. So.
And so is that for the greater good?
I think.
I mean, worst case scenario, is that for the greater good?
One life for how many are you going to save with a nuclear bomb?
I don't know, Dan. You tell me.
More than one.
It's your segment.
More than one usually. So.
All right. What else you got?
On a lighter side, that
no one gets killed in the next episode?
Yeah, no one gets killed on this, but the new iPads and iPhones have a new thing that's it's drag and drop that you can use, and you could, like, say you're in your email, and you want to text a picture to somebody, you can just take the picture, hover over it, hold it down with your mouse. It starts vibrating, and then you drag it over to your text program, your messaging program, and drop it in there. So you don't have to save a file. Like if I want to text my wife a picture, I have to email it to myself. Then on my phone, I save that email. Then I have to go and take the picture and share it to her.
What's the size that you're allowed to do that? Because, I mean, I've tried to text you pictures before, and because the way I've got my camera set up, it's all high DPIs and all that. 9
megabyte pictures you try to text me, yes. But, I mean, just for average pictures and small, it doesn't say the size of pictures you can get, but just the fact that you can, your brain is thinking, I want to take this picture and move it from my email over to my text. Or if I want to take this picture from my photos and email it, and all you do is click on it and drag it to where you want it to go, and it pops. It just makes so much sense. It's easier.
It seems like one unnecessarily step. I would just download it to my phone and then just go. I can use it from anywhere.
Yeah.
What's the photo drop? Have you seen where people do like a photo drop? Like you've got a whole restaurant full of people, and someone will drop a photo for every phone that's available that's open to a photo drop.
Oh, I haven't familiar with that.
I'm sorry, Dan. I didn't mean to step on your toes again.
No, but I didn't. Yeah, I don't. I usually, you know what I do when I go to a restaurant? I like to eat.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's some people. I mean, like if you go to a concert, they'll do a photo drop or some kind of drop to whatever phones where you can you look on your phone. Even our Android phones will have it too. It'll say AirDrop or something like that, and you'll drop a picture to all the phones that don't have anything blocked, and then all of a sudden you got a picture of the thumbnail of your last podcast.
Okay, so you're just dropping a picture into someone else's phone. You're not taking their pictures.
No. Oh. You're dropping the photo to all the phones that are around you that it will accept that photo because they haven't blocked it or anything like that. It's open Wi-Fi, like a guest Wi-Fi when you go to a hotel or something.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad. Yeah, not familiar with that. So.
Well, do some research and get back to me on that. What else is going on? You did some Windows 11. How'd that go? You were trying to reconstruct the whole United States on your Windows service?
No, I just one of my computers I was using was running a little bit slow and having a few error problems. So I said, why don't I put Windows 11 on this? I'm going to have to do it someday. So backed up all my data. Got the USB drive with the ISO to be able to start installing Windows 11. And I click it, and it starts running. It says, this computer does not have meet the hardware requirements for Windows 11.
And why doesn't it?
It doesn't have a certain chip that they need, certain security chip.
Is it a chip or a hack that you've gotten from before?
No, there's a chip that you need on the motherboard. Mm-hmm. So I went up and I just went to Google and I said, Windows 11 hardware hack. And hit Google, and the first thing I looked at it says you got to make a couple changes in the registry, add these lines here. I said, I can do that. And I went put the drive in, started up Windows again, put that boot drive in, and I went in and had to type 2 lines of code, saved it.
Plus sign instead of minus sign.
Yeah.
Zero instead of 1.
Just put the default at 1 and change it, and it was like no hardware check or something. It was... if there were 50 letters I typed total, it's less than that. Put the disk back in, rebooted the computer, and started up. Welcome to Windows 11. Let's go ahead, and everything loaded beautiful. So.
And what year was the household thing that you're loading? How old was that one?
My tower was probably about 4 years old.
So are you saying that anyone that's got something older than 4 years old can't get...
probably going to have problems, yeah.
So I'm going to have problems.
Yeah, it's going to be a TPM chip. Well, unless you know me. There's a TPM chip that they have. It's a security thing. So.
All right, guys, for all the that you have questions for IT Dan, make sure you go over to Prophet Radio, click on DeaconLive, and email us your questions. We can... get those answered for you. I'm getting ready to set up a email address for IT Dan as well, so you can email him directly, and I don't have to forward it third party. You got something else for me? Is that it?
No, that's just it. Worked on a few computers. Got the cameras all set into my development.
Good. And you went up and down the pole how many times?
Oh, I can't tell you. Probably 20 times altogether.
Probably why you're tired today.
Yes. No, I didn't sleep good. We had lightning storm last, thunder and lightning, and I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, went downstairs, and shut all the computers off.
All right, well, good. You don't have a surge protector on there?
I have it. It's not a lightning protector. It's a surge protector.
So what's the
I have
difference
3 of
between a
them.
lightning protector and a surge protector? Here you go.
Well,
Here's the story,
Okay,
Dan.
well, a surge is when you may have a brownout or your electricity just shuts off for a second, and you get a little surge in it, or your electricity goes off and you turn it back on. That's a surge. Lightning is it's a little bit more powerful. Blow a squirrel out of a tree and things like that.
All right, so that's not a surge on the thing.
No, you don't have lightning protectors on. Yes.
All right, Dan. Thank you very much. When we come back, speaking of brownout, we're going to talk about ghost poops. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
I can start drinking my coffee now. It's 3 o'clock.
Oh, good. I was worried about you.
No, everything I do, I will do that step of saving it on my computer, and then I have it, and it's always there forever. But I can understand where somebody, like if Kathy wanted to do something, it'd be so much easier just to drag and
Did
drop.
Dan just say he came out in 1981? Ron.
You know why it's KFC, because fried food isn't healthy, so.
Well, there was a rumor that it wasn't from Kentucky and it wasn't chicken. So they had to do the letters. Oh, it's just KFC. Well, what does that stand for? I don't know. You know,
Everything's initials nowadays.
Kirk,
NSFW.
Kirk fucked Charlotte. You know what I mean? No, they're just trying to get hip with the times.
I think they want to avoid the word fried, though, as far as healthy goes.
Well, yeah. I mean, they do.
I'm supposed to get a shirt made one of these days.
What kind of shirt?
Assassin's Creed shirt.
Oh. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Over to my far right-hand side is IT Dan.
Yes. Hi, I'm doing good. I'm drinking my coffee, relaxing.
Oh, you're awake now.
Yes, I'm awake now.
You had a rough morning, Dan. I understand that. You had a rough morning.
Yeah.
And a lot of people out there always have a rough morning, and we hope that Deacon Live can help you make your rough morning, rough evening, rough afternoon a little bit better.
Yeah, I woke up at 4, didn't really go back to sleep, and then came over here and did some grouting, and then went and made a big mistake and went to Subway. Did we mention
And
I
you
went to Subway?
you ate the whole Subway sandwich,
Yes.
Dan.
Yeah, I did that.
You
and
always
then-
say I only want 6 inches.
Yes, that's not what I always say, but thanks
Well-
for putting words in my mouth or something else in my mouth.
Now, Dan, when are you ready to retire? Now, you're at an age now that are you retiring? Are you not retiring? I mean,
I'm still at Home Depot. I'm still on the fence there. So,
Okay.
but I haven't been there in like 14 months or so.
but are you still on the payroll there?
Yes.
For the most part? I mean,
Yes.
you help them online and do all that stuff.
They'll have little projects they have me do or call up and questions and have me look up old orders and stuff.
So
help
you're
them out
very
with stuff.
valuable to the Home Depot brand.
Well, I have
that store.
I have some value, I guess. Yeah.
Now, when you decide to retire, or if you decide to, quit doing, and Dan, you look like the guy that will work up until his dying day.
Yeah, I mean, can't remember the last day off I've had. Doing something.
Now, new studies have shown. Now, for those of you who don't know, that we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. And what was the population that we had here in Marshville?
2,864.
I don't think it was that much, but okay, it's close. I saw a couple moving vans this past weekend.
Two guys in a truck.
But right now, if you're living in North Carolina, these are all the small towns that they say based on the county, the taxes, and the events that are going on to retire in North Carolina. Now, Dan, give me your list of where you think that the top is. And can you move your mic? Because I know you see.
I'd see like Mount Gilead would probably be one where I live, and maybe someplace else like Black Mountain near Asheville.
Okay.
Small towns.
So here we go. Right now, a new study reveals the places to retire in North Carolina. So all of you out there that live outside the United States, if you want to retire here in North Carolina, there's a lot of things you have to look at. You have to look at tax breaks, medical care, events, and kind of like social stuff. If you're going to retire, you just don't want to retire and sit in a
taxes.
box.
And we have the coastal area with the beaches. We also have the urban areas like Charlotte and Raleigh.
Well, we go all the way from the beaches
and then we
to
have
the mountains.
Yeah.
So a lot of studies have shown that a lot of people, when they think retirement, they want to move into like big cities or big urban areas, and when they think North Carolina, they think Raleigh and Charlotte, which is two of the biggest towns here in the Carolinas. But a lot of people say, okay, we'll go right next door to Asheville with easy access to the mountains and hiking trails and all that. But right now, there's a couple things you have to think about. You have to think about the tax burden, access to medical care, opportunities for recreations, and opportunities for social events. Now, right now, these are the top 10 retiree places based on all those things that I just listed. Hendersonville. Let me start at the bottom. Well,
Hey, I got one right. Black Mountain.
So let me start at the top 10. So number 10 is Black Mountain, where Dan just came back from his which is not a whole vacation.
My 2-day vacation.
Reedsville. Where's Reedsville at?
That's right next to Lloydsville.
Okay.
No.
Forest City, Williamston, Pinehurst, Roxborough, Brevard, Marion, Hickory. Now, Hickory's way up in the mountains. And then Hendersonville is the number 1 place in the North Carolina for retirement. Now, you ask yourself why. Henderson County earned the rank of the number 1 place to retire in North Carolina due to the combination of these factors. First of all, the tax burden is only 15.7%. It also has 7 doctors per 1,000 residents in this area. Seniors make up over about 30% of the population, and there's recreational centers, senior centers allowing social and recreational activities. Now, the second county is Wake County. Here in North Carolina, they only have 1.4 doctors per 1,000 residents there. And you ask yourself, when you retire, I want to move here, I want to move there. And then people, I want to move up in the mountain. Well, what happens if you get sick because you're retired?
A lot of people tell me they want to know that there's a good hospital nearby. That's a major thing to a lot of older people I talk to.
Now, did you watch that one documentary I sent you? I said it right. The one documentary I sent you that was, what was it, Life in Paradise or something about the villages over in Florida?
No, I did see that. And I realized how the Trumpers and the anti-Trumpers are fighting, but...
no, that's not what I showed.
That's the village. Okay.
The village, well, I mean...
It's the largest retirement in the country, isn't it?
Yeah. And if you watch that, it shows that everything is together. I mean, everything, there's a lot of activities, and it's over, I think, you have to watch the documentary. I think it's like 15 square miles, and everyone's got a golf cart. It's a golf cart community, and they've got all these different things. And you got like the poor side of the villages and the rich side of the community, but it's all one big location. But it's the highest, densest population of Republicans in Florida. So anytime Republicans come through the Florida, whether it be governor or president, they always stop by the villages because they're the highest turnout and the most red state type areas. So there you go. They don't get political in the documentary at all. And Dan, look that up for me while we get on to the next topic here. What's the name of that? Now, while Dan's looking that up, Rodney King. Do you remember Rodney King? The gentleman in 1991 that was pulled out of his car on the side of the road. Well, I say pulled out of his car. He was stopped. It was a traffic stop. And 4 police officers were videotaped him being kicked and beaten and everything. What'd you find out?
Some Kind of Heaven is the.
Some Kind of Heaven.
It's on Netflix.
I don't think it was on Netflix. It was on Hulu, I believe. You know how to read that thing over there?
Okay. What's the Netflix show? Okay, it's on Vox. It's on New York Times. You can find it out there. It's on YouTube also.
And what's the name of it again?
Some Kind of Heaven.
And that deals with the villages and how it's one big, huge retirement community. And the guy who actually set it up, he was like, we'll do this, and we'll do that. And it just multiplied and multiplied and multiplied. And I think they have over... 25,000 residents in this 15 square mile area, something like that.
Well, that's good. They can stay there. Drive around with their left blinker on all day long.
Now, we were talking about Rodney King and the video that kind of changed the whole way we look at how we watch crimes unfold and the police brutality.
This is like the first original George Floyd movie. Actually.
Exactly is what it is, where you have white cops beating up on a black male or black person in general. Now, the man who shot that video has kind of stayed in the wings for a very long time. Everyone knows Rodney King. Can't we all just get along? Everyone knows, like Dan says, the George Floyd thing. But you don't know who filmed those videos. Now, in the Rodney King video, the gentleman's name is George Holliday. The man who shot the Rodney King video of the officers beating Rodney King just recently passed away. Now, George Holliday is a Los Angeles plumber who shot the grainy video of 4 white police officers, like I just said. He just passed away at the age of 61. He died in his Los Angeles hospital, where he had been for more than a month. According to Robert Wohler, his good time friend, a former worker and stuff, Holliday was a plumber, was not vaccinated, and was on a ventilator in recent days before contracting pneumonia. Now, Holliday was awakened by a traffic stop. This is what actually happened. Holliday, take this right here.
Yeah, he was awakened by a traffic stop out of San Fernando Valley on the March 3rd, 1991, before Travis was born. He went outside to film it with his new video camera, catching the Los Angeles police punching, kicking, and using a stun gun on King, even after he was on the ground. And a year later, his out-of-focus footage, about 9 minutes worth, was a key piece of evidence at the 4 officers' criminal trial for assault and excessive use of force. And then the jury acquitted all of them, and the city had uprated violence.
Yeah, so everything just went all to hell in a handbasket back in the day. Those are the L.A. fires that you always hear about. And the reason, for those of you who don't know, the younger generation that are listening to DeaconLive podcast, we appreciate all you guys out there. And people overseas might not know this as well, especially the people over in the Federation. What did I say? The Republic of Korea. We had some downloads over there. They might know this, might not know this as well. Now, the uprising seemed to catch arrest in the nation by surprise, as longtime residents said in South LA that this was always going on. So this was the tipping point about brutality on the police officers brutalizing the black male or any black or people of color as well.
Yeah, this is the very first thing I can remember of it.
So here's the thing. So he just passed away at the age of 61, but we were like going, well, what happened to him? What's his story? What happened to him? So Rodney King sued Los Angeles over the beating and was awarded $3.8 million in 1994. Now, this all took place in 1991. 1992 is when the verdict came out. The riots happened. In 1994, he settled his civil action suit and got $3.8 million. Now, for those you don't know, in 2012, he lost all that money to bad investments, and then he ended up drowning in his pool later on that year. Rodney King was 47 years old when he passed away.
Yeah, and I had heard that his lawyers took so much of the money that
right. So Holliday, the guy who actually filmed the video, he put his camcorder, the Sony camcorder that he just bought right before the beating happened, put it up on auction, and the bidding started at $225,000, and it sold, but they don't know what the actual price was for the actual Sony camcorder that they filmed. It's kind of like having murderabilia. You know what murderabilia is?
Yeah, if you happen to have a knife that was used in a murder or something,
or
like that.
Something famous. If you had the gun that actually killed Lincoln or anything like that.
I thought he was killed with a sword.
Was it a sword or a sword?
No, I'm just kidding.
In 2017, Holliday was working, the guy who made the videotape, was working on a documentary about his role in the whole King case. And it was unclear that anything became of this project. He was showing his side of the story as far as what he did and what actually happened, because I'm sure they pulled him into the case. It's, what's your goal behind this? Who do you know? And who do all,
and how does that affect your life? I still think about the two kids, the 17-year-old kid in the store and the 17-year-old kid that filmed George Floyd, how I mean, that's going to
Well,
change your entire life. I wouldn't be ready for that at my age. Never mind at 17.
Well, she said her whole entire life changed, and she's only 17 years old because they went through her whole background, and they were trying to, the attorneys and stuff were trying to debunk her background. Well, you've gotten arrested three times for this, and you've got 6 illegitimate kids. I'm just saying this fictitiously, but that's what they do to try to disclaim, that's what you do. But your witnesses, you try to discredit them.
But I mean, just if you're thinking for that girl's point of view, the things that she has done, what she did taking that video, you had the riots come, you've had people have been killed, people have been injured, people have been arrested. You've affected thousands of people's lives. Just, when you're 17,
You've affected and infected a lot of people's lives with that, and there's a double standard with that. I mean, it's gone both ways, for the good and for the bad. On that, and whatever side you want to take that fence, that's your own opportunity to do that. Now, both sides of the fence. You ever had a little a neighbor with a weird dog that just won't shut up, that's barking all the time?
We have a couple of them, but we can't hear them too much.
Now, this canine right here, in the process of a dog can hear things from miles away. This canine has won the Guinness World Book of Records for the longest ears.
Are they the whitest? No, that was the pain.
That was something else. Lou can't give you a hand, but she sure can lend you an ear. The Guinness World Book of Records, another world record, recently awarded this 3-year-old American dog, basically it's a basset hound, with the longest ears in dog, quote-unquote, living, according to the release this past week.
Wow, the dog's floppy ears hang real low, with each flap measuring around 13.38 inches in length. And Lou ended up in the running for the record after owner had extra time to deserve it. She was hanging around from COVID, had nothing to do, and observed it. So
Paige Olson adopted Lou when it was a pooch, when it was younger. She told Guinness it was love at first sight when she saw the extravagantly long ears factoring in the decision of bringing this pet home. So she went to the kennel, adopted the dog, said the dog had really, really long ears. You're it.
Yeah, they're bigger than Prince Charles's ears.
While Lou's ears didn't go unnoticed, the veterinarian technician also said, hey, you know what? Measuring these appendages, we should check this and measure everything out. They sent it to the Guinness World Book of Records. They came out to make sure that everything was legit. And right here, take it away.
Yeah, according to Olson, Lou isn't bothered by her elongated ears, and they don't require special upkeep. Aside from monthly cleanliness check, she also sports a snood in winter to keep her ears warm and out of the snow. And got a picture of her at home on it. I guess that's kind of cool thing.
So there you go. So she hopes that Lou wins and inspires all animal lovers to embrace your pet's unique abilities and love them in every way possible, especially if you're getting like a rescue dog or a rescue cat or any kind of rescue animal.
Well, I think the animals also rescue the human. It works both ways.
It does work both ways. And as you know, we've adopted 2 kittens that we have here on the Franch. And for those of you who don't know, we have a Franch is part farm, part ranch. Our farm didn't do that well this year. Our ranch is doing very well this year. And we have 2 cats. We have Cheeto, which is an orange tabby. He's a pistol. And then we have Trisket. And Triscuit's a long-haired calico. And they were from 2 different litters, but they were about a week apart as far as ages. So
now, when are you going to get them neutered?
We have to wait a couple more weeks. They have to reach a certain age. I think 12 and either 12 weeks or 16 weeks. They have to be spayed and neutered, and that's covered with the adoption fee. So you pay $125 adoption fee, but it takes care of their first year's shots. Also, and spayed and neutering that needs to happen. And then a follow-up exam, and then that's it. And then you have to take care of all of that. But that's great. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. The adoption, it's $125 adoption fee? No, you don't understand. It takes care of all the stuff for the first year. Now, something that takes care of myself, as you know, I'm on what Dan calls the Manchurian diet or
macaroni diet this week.
Mandolin diet. He's called it a million things. So I'm on the Mediterranean diet, which consists of fruits, nuts, root vegetables, fish, and chicken. And that's it. That's all I eat. Well, and then I'm allowed to have, I drink water, lemon water with actual lemon juice in it, and these things over here in Miller Lite.
Okay, we didn't hear Miller Lite. That's fine.
So your bowels, your body, my wife knows my religious, what do they call it? Constitutions?
Yes. You could set a clock to.
And I was eating, what was I eating before? Oh, I was eating, what was I eating when cucumbers. I was doing
cucumbers with that some kind of salad dressing.
Yeah,
on it.
within 45 minutes, I was running to the John. I thought there was something wrong with me, but that's what happens.
Yeah,
now,
it was a fart with fluid drive.
So right now, what's coming out is a absolute doctor, 100% doctor, says, guess what? There are ghost poops out there. And you ask yourself, what's a ghost poop? Well, you're already wondering what the hell is a ghost poop and what does it actually mean? In recent videos, a YouTuber, a gastroenterologist in Men's Health magazine shares exclusively what a ghost poop is, and it says about what your toilet habit is.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Islam gives us 3 definitions of the elusive ghost poop.
Ghost poop.
1 is the urge to poop that only ends up being gas. 2 is a poop so smooth that it went down the drain before you could see it.
I don't think that's possible.
And lastly, 3, a visible poop in the toilet, but 0 poop marks on your toilet paper.
We call that a clean wiper.
Yeah. As far as the first type of goose poop, this is caused by having too much air in the colon and the rectum as well. It innervates or activates the nerves inside your colon and gives you urge to have a bowel habit. The culprit, eating gassy foods, being constipated, or even swallowing too much air. So the second goose poop isn't one to worry about. It's usually celebrated for being such an amazing bowel movement. The third type of ghost poop might seem bizarre, but it's nothing to fear. It's like a ghost that leaves no trace. This is a sign you had a poop so small or smooth that it didn't leave a mark, 0 cause. So, I mean, I just think this guy's just having a little bit of fun.
Well, no, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true because,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to bring anyone into our little realm here that we know personally, but I know someone that goes, oh, I gotta go, and then you come out, I think there's a writing on the wall that says, here I sit brokenhearted,
paid a dime and only farted.
only farted. That's a ghost poop.
Yeah.
And then there's times where I know personally that I've gone and done the no wiper.
Well, he's just He's just taking stuff that we've already had medically and just trying to come up with a funny name for it or something.
There's an actual thing that I saw on Facebook many years ago, and it had a breakdown of the color of your. I know. We have stooped down to the lowest level, Dan. We're talking shit jokes here. We're talking fart jokes. It actually breaks down if your bowel looks like this. This is what it means: too much fiber, not enough fiber. Upset stomach, diarrhea, dehydrated, and it shows all in the toilet bowl in cartoon form.
Yeah, but those are technical medical things. There's no ghosts in your rectum. You know
no,
what I
it's
mean?
not a ghost in your rectum, but what they're saying, they're calling it the phenomenon, phenomenon ghost poop. So you sit there, I gotta poop, and you're like, how'd it go? Ghost poop.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's.
I mean, there's a reason why there's a word called sharded. I thought I had the shit, but I only farted.
Yes.
Are you with me on that?
Yeah, I'm with that. I totally understand, but I don't think it's any. It's just more. It's a fun thing to talk about.
It is, and then there's an actual technical name for it, and they call it, quote unquote, ghost poops. All right, when we come back, someone who's ghost pooping the Wheel of Fortune. Are you familiar with the Wheel of Fortune, Dan?
Is that a new show? Yes, I'm very set. Pat Sajak and Vanna White.
Yep, and there's a lot of things moving around with the whole Jeopardy thing and Wheel of Fortune, and we'll dive into that here when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. You switch over.
And the starch doesn't bother you?
Well, it's a root vegetable, so technically that's the only sugar outside of the Miller Lite is what I'm intaking. So it's a good sugar. But I'm like sitting there going, well, what can I put on a baked potato? Dan, what would you put on a baked potato? Butter, sour cream, cheese,
you know what
salt.
I like on it? Thousand Island dressing.
I don't like Thousand Island dressing. So Amy's got you ever heard of Primal Kitchen?
Primal Kitchen?
It's all keto like dressings and stuff like that. So she had a steak sauce. But Dan, if you were to go like this, it looked like Worcestershire. I mean, but it's called steak sauce. I put it all over my baked potato last night. So I had chicken breasts that I cooked out on the grill, and then my baked potato. You know, good sized baked potato like that. Yeah. I had to eat it.
And sweet potatoes are better for you than.
I tried the sweet potatoes, and I can't do it.
It's weird. Yeah, because you don't like green peppers, but
I mean, we had them. We cooked them up.
You saw the burgers we had last night.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy made big patties like that, and then she made a meatloaf. So tonight, I'm going to slice the meatloaf and grill some onions and put some provolone on it and make a panini sandwich.
You trying to recreate the...
Yeah, that sandwich.
the one that you had in... She finally found one of the factor meals that she didn't like. It was a balsamic something chicken with Brussels sprouts and a cauliflower mash with carrots. Now, she's not a big fan of carrots, so I think that's where it all went up. But she found, out of all the meals she's been eating for the last 2 weeks now, she found one that she's like, I don't like it. Ready?
I'm ready. Ready to go.
Okay. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want to be heard? Of course you want to be heard. Everyone wants to be heard, and the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the little Be Heard section, the little blue bar at the very bottom side of your phone, your tablet, wherever you're listening to us from, and you can leave a voicemail or a voice message, and it comes right here to our inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast as well. If you have any questions for us, and if you have questions for myself or IT Dan, which is over to my far right-hand side.
Yes, and thanks. And I love looking at the comments and the questions everyone has, and it's
and some are tongue in cheek, and some are they're good.
Some are humorous. I haven't got one that wants me to reach out and strangle anyone yet, so that's good news.
That's always good news. Yeah. Now, Dan, are you familiar with? Let's say, oh God, I came across this article and I said, "There's no way they've made a whole article about this one topic." Are you familiar with? Let's backtrack a little bit. Do you like tea? Like sweet tea or anything like that?
I have tea once in a while, but no, not. I'm more of a coffee drinker.
So, are you familiar with the way that people make sun tea?
Yeah, you put water and you put it out on your porch and wait till it gets mold around it and drop the tea bag in.
No. Normally, you fill up a 1 gallon glass container. It's got to be glass. Put your couple tea bags in it and put the lid on it and let it sit out in the sun. And the sun heats the water up and then creates the tea. And then you can do whatever you want with after that.
Yeah,
you can.
I've had some, but I have seen it. Yes.
Have you heard of moon water?
No, but I think I'm going to.
Well, it sounds like a song by Foghat, but it's not. This is moon water. Now, what is moon water and what do you do with it?
I think that's a song by Andy Williams.
Astrologers, witches, and mystics alike. Now, we're getting closer to the Halloween season, so this might be a little bit more pertinent for anyone that's in that field. Agree that the power of the moon is one special thing that we should all embrace.
A lunar pole.
It is a lunar pole. The moon rules over and subconsciousness, intuitive aspects of ourself, and is the wax and wane that reflects our very own self-being. Now, what is moon water? Now, you can create moon water. You ready for this, Dan? You ready? I'm gonna open up a store to make moon water, and it'll be a store. It's gonna be like a head shop with nothing but black lights.
So you'll be selling eggs and moon water.
Moon water can be created by leaving water outdoors to change under the moonlight.
Oh, charge.
I'm sorry, charge. Yeah, sorry. Charge under the moonlight. Because the moon affects the ocean's tides and already the energetic connections between the elements of the water and moon. And when you add additional, maybe a crystal or two, you can put like crystals in your moon water to help it going on. Now, when I say crystals, like, you ever gone to
crystal meth?
No, not those guys. You go to like I don't know how to explain it. There's always a place that has all like these little rocks and stuff, and sometimes you can make like necklaces out of them. They've got like these big bins of nothing, all these different crystals and stuff.
Oh, okay.
A jar, you can get go to those places. They're like normally in like tourist areas and tourist trap areas.
Okay.
And look, this is a sentiment crystal stone and I wear that around my neck, and it brings all good air. Now, you can do this, a jar or container. I would recommend a jar, clear jar, some kind of glass jar would be great. Use that, water from the tap, bottle or from wherever, doesn't matter. Just make sure it's safe to drink if you're going to do that. Label the moon water and note what sign and what phase the moon is in. Like, if it's the full moon of Pisces, or
the date.
And the date that you put it in there. Water safe crystals. That's what I was talking about. Like quartz, clear quartz, amethyst, that type stuff. You can put it in the water. Cleansing herbs. Now, when you're not going to put the herbs in the water, Dan, I know this is a lot for you. But what you're going to do to sterilize your container, you're going to light the herbs like sage. You ever seen where people do sage in the house?
And they wave it around.
And you're going to do whatever your herbs are in this glass container. Literally, you're going to put this container outside, let the water capture the moon's energy, and then you got moon water.
Wow. And I saw, when I went to Aldi's, I didn't see any moon water in there. But, yeah, this is kind of, I suppose it keeps someone busy, keeps them out of my hair.
Now, what do you do with moon water once it's done? Now, the initial use is you can clean your altar or sacred space and your crystals or any ritual tools with moon water. Are you with me?
You can add it to your ritual bath. This is just...
And you can listen. The gods are talking because there's a lightning storm out there right now, currently as we speak. And we're just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville.
You can drink it. You can drink it.
You can drink it. You can cleanse your floor. Yep, just add it to Pine Sol if you want to. You can use it to water your plants. You can create fragrant room sprays by adding essential oils and alcohol to it. You can use it in your essential diffuser. Now, I would do that if it would help with some of the, we have dogs, we have cats in the house. Not that our house is smelly or anything, but the less likely it smells like a farm, because we live on 22 some odd acres out here, that I would do that.
So you step in chicken crap and then walk in and blame the dog.
I do.
Yeah, okay.
So there's moon water out there, and you can also anoint your body in the way of energetically cleansing yourself by taking a deep hot bubble bath and adding moon water to your...
This looks like something I would see back in 1971 in my hippie days.
Well, 1971 or 2021, we're still doing it. So there you go. Moon water. Now, something that's been happening for a very long time. Dan, are you familiar with the game show Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my God. Hold on. I got to turn that off. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I've watched Wheel of Fortune. I don't watch it lately, but I have seen it enough.
Now, the whole trials and tribulations that's going on right now with Pat Sajak passing away, and normally on a Friday night or a weekday night, it's usually Jeopardy, then Wheel of Fortune.
No, Pat Sajak didn't pass away.
I'm sorry. Alex Trebek passed away.
Yes.
So
sorry, Pat. We didn't mean to scare your family.
So either it's what did you say here in Florida or in North Carolina? It's always Wheel of Fortune, then Jeopardy, then up north
Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune here, and up north on the satellite they were transverse.
You could have said the opposite, and we would have made sense at the same time.
And do you know who invented both of those games?
Merv Griffin.
Very good.
I'm very good at that.
Yeah.
Now, Pat Sajak is opening about the changes that he has seen or wants to do on Wheel of Fortune, and he's always had a problem with it since he's taken over. Now, who...
He's been doing it for how many... I can't remember anyone before Pat Sajak.
Look up right now who was before Pat Sajak, because I remember when they brought Pat Sajak on, they made fun of him because he had such a big fucking head.
Yeah. Oh, yes, he does.
And they said that anyone who's got a big head is going to make it well in the TV game show business. So who was
I'm looking it up.
And I think it was someone popular. I think it was like, not Alex Trebek, but who was the one that 2 and 2, Davison.
Okay, Chuck Woolery.
Chuck Woolery.
Yeah.
Yep. 2 and 2. Chuck Woolery, who was on the dating game or the dating whatever.
Yeah, and I thought Pat Sajak does good.
He does well, and
he's not intrusive. He just comes in and does his job.
But being intrusive is what they're changing, and it's been a long time coming. Is the final seconds of the game? There's only like 13 seconds left. Normally, game shows will try to wrap up and then say, "Okay, See,
Well,
see
they
you
do
tomorrow.
the final spin because it only takes like 2 seconds to do it. When you ask a person, then they're going to have to walk over and chatter and stuff.
Well, what they used to do in the old game shows when they were doing like a wild card and stuff, and they go do 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 or the do do do, and they would go, "Oh, we ran out of time. Tune in tomorrow, and we'll pick up this game right where we left off." Now, of course, you know that they shoot like 8 games in one day.
Oh, probably more than that, I would say.
So now they want to make these all self-contained units. So of course they started doing the final spin, and Pat Sajak would go up there and spin it. Final time, I'm going to spin it. And then whatever it lands on, that's what the dollar amount is for the final game.
So the people playing the game for money are subject to how he spins the wheel.
Right. So if he's looking at it, he's like going, okay, here's my arrow, and there's $50 there, and there's a $5,000 over there. I'm just going to spin it a little lightly to get the $50, so I'm not costing the producers money, and try to get the least amount of money. And he's taking himself out of that. He's like, I've never agreed with that. They should never do this. So what they're doing now,
this is like 40 years later. He's finally decided not to do it.
Well, because of all the stuff that's going on with Jeopardy and Michael Richards, that's stepping down from both of them. He's not the producer anymore. Pat Sajak redid his contract and said, I'm now part executive producer of Wheel of Fortune, and this is what I want to happen. Believe it or not, his daughter's actually taken over the social media aspect of Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, and you realize he's still getting paid minimum wage? Because it's all he can do.
Now, he's taken himself out of it, and he's saying, all right, from now on, whoever the next player's turn is, when the time runs out, will do the final spin, and whatever money dollar amount lands in front of them, that's what they're doing. So now they have more opportunity for example, I'm Deacon, I'm sitting in position number 2, and I see where the $5,000 slot is. And I go, you know what? I'm going to roll this over so I'll make sure I get $5,000 because I know what the answer to the puzzle is. But I know there's like 4 T's and 6 S's up there, and I want to get that money.
Oh, they show the puzzle before the spin. Okay.
Well, you're halfway through the puzzle already before they go, do. All right, we're out of time. That sign means... You hear that?
Yeah.
That sound means we have time for one final spin because we need a certain amount of time to finish up the game.
That's thunder in the background, folks.
That is thunder. Now, Dan, your favorite cookie company is having problems right now.
They're having problems?
They are.
Oreos are doing fine, aren't they?
No, they're not, Dan. They've released a new flavor. It's one that's called ID. I didn't dive into that story because I know it drives Dan crazy about the whole Oreo thing. How many flavors are in Oreos, Dan?
85. And I never knew that before this show.
Now, people are selling the new Oreos that are coming out and making a lot of money on eBay. And you're like going, well, what are they selling? The bad flavors, the good flavors?
How do you ship them without getting broken in 1,000 pieces?
Well, you do a lot of foam and everything around them. But right now, Oreo has released this whole new Pokemon cookie. Now, you say, what's a Pokemon cookie? If you look at an Oreo cookie, they have the Oreo emblem and everything stamped. They had the scrambled eggs on the one side and all the decorative stuff that says Oreo cookie on it. Now,
I've never ever looked at that. I just pick one up and pop it in my mouth. I'm just being honest.
Shocker. Yeah. So now they're coming out with Pokemon emblems on the Oreo cookies themselves. Now, there is a whole world out there of Pokemon, however you want to say it, that I want the rarest Pokemon emblem, card, Pog, whatever it is. And they're finding out that there are certain limited amounts of Pokemon characters that are being stamped on the new Oreo cookies that are coming out, and they're selling, Dan, for more than $1,000 per cookie.
Hey, if supply and demand, if someone's willing to give you that kind of money, that's all good. So, while a package of Oreo costs just a few dollars in stores, there are several full packages listed online for hundreds of dollars or more. The price varies depending on whether you're willing to go head-to-head in a bidding war over a package of cookies or just want to buy it now. In addition to the cookie packages, several people are selling single Oreos, mostly Muse. Prices on single cookies vary from $4.25 all the way up to $2,500. You know, and as outrageous as it seems, people are buying both the packs and the single cookies. Not for the suggested prices, however. Most resales are selling between $10 and $15, which that's still a lot for a mass-produced sandwich cookie. And I mean, I would look at it, and go, "What the hell? I'm going to eat it."
So here's what I'm looking at is when you have, are you a fan of baseball cards? Like back in the day,
yeah,
like you have Hank Aaron and all those guys.
It was Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle, Kyle Yastrzemski, Tony Conigliaro when I was a kid.
Yeah, all those guys. So sometimes the whole entire collection set would sell for, let's say, the 91 top baseball upper deck cards sold for, let's say, $200 for the whole set. It's sealed up and everything, but inside of that is, a Frank Thomas rookie card, Derek Jeter rookie card, all these different rookie cards are inside. So, or do you buy the packs, the individual cards, which would sell like a Frank Thomas rookie card would sell for like $500, or Derek Jeter. Look at me, big sports guy, right?
Yeah, but right now, all you can buy is, you buy the 2021 cards. Right now, you can't.
Right, but what I'm saying is
eBay and stuff.
They're selling the whole entire pack of these Pokemon cards, not knowing, or Pokemon cookies, not knowing what the rare ones are inside, and then, it's your gamble if you want to open them up or not open them up. You can leave them just as is, or someone opens them up and goes, "Oh, look, here's a Squirtle Turtle, which is worth $2,500, or here's Pikachu, which is like 5 cents."
What's a baseball card from 1965 is going to look like a baseball card in 1965? What in the world is a cookie going to look like a year from now?
Well, with all the preservatives and stuff, I'm sure it's probably going to look the same. Have you ever seen McDonald's?
If it's a Twinkie, yes, I can see that in
or the
2029.
McDonald's French fries that fall in between your seats. They stay there forever and they look the same.
Yeah, and they taste about the same. Yeah. Wow. So.
All right. Well, hold on. Let's see where we're at on time here. So we're at where are we at? 1:32. All right. I was going to talk about sex. You want to talk about sex in space, Dan?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
You want to talk about that when we come back? Take a little break and come back?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, we'll take a little break and come back, and then we'll talk about sex in space and let you guys get back to what you got to do. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
142,000?
Buy 2 of them.
Okay.
What's she doing? Sticking her nose in what now?
She said no. Now she said that they're trying to sell a double lot next to us with a house for 142,000, and I don't think either houses next to us perk. I don't think they can build a house there. And there's nothing we could, you only got so much money. You can't buy the whole planet. I don't know. I don't have enough time to get everything done, and she just has all the time to look at things and think about things.
Why is she calling you? She want you to get home or something?
No, she wanted me to call her about that. So, but I don't. I see 125 Crestwell and 114.
Go to Redfin. That's got the.
Yeah.
That's the most accurate.
341 Crestwell, which is going to be.
Does she take any not to be personal, but does she take any medication for mood swings?
No, she. I don't think it's mood swings. She's just woman. She's weird. No, she did. And she goes nuts on me for crazy stuff. But no, she's not. Not that. She lives with me.
Each.
Yeah.
You know what, Dan? You're probably her yin to your yang.
Yeah.
She can sit there and vent with you, and you don't get mad, or I don't know how you.
No, I do get mad because she vents
but
about
that's
the
what
same
she
things
wants.
over and over again.
Maybe that validates her existence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hate to say that,
Yeah.
but I mean, there's certain people like, you fucking stupid bitch, and then all of a sudden, oh, he loves me. I mean, there's a reason why that is.
We're like oil and water together and stuff. No, and we love each other, but I'm nuts and bolts, and she's drama. She wants to know what's going on with this or that, or what the neighbors are doing, and I could get.
Well, Dan, she never leaves the house, though. That's the thing. I mean, that's kind of like what Amy was saying. You never leave the house. All I do is this program, your program, all the other programs, and sit here on the house, and that's it.
We
And
go
she
to the recycle center and stuff.
yeah, I got to go get beer somewhere, but but she wants to go traveling all the time. And I'm like going, yeah, that's fine. We used to do it all the time, but now I don't want to say we can't because
Well,
what's going on?
Well, yeah, with her job. Yeah, I mean, the hours she has doing that. And I told her I want to go and travel, but like this tiling job is something that it's time consuming. I didn't think it was going to take that long.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, I said, I'm not going to do a tiling job just because of the mess. It's just a sloppy, carpentry is a whole different thing.
Right.
I'm looking forward to coming in and just taking the sawdust and stuff like that and doing something a little bit different that day.
Right.
And then I probably got, one day of fixing up the rest of the tile, doing the rest of the tile.
Right.
And then it's just grout work. Oh, and that, yeah, it's probably one whole day of tile after we get the wood done.
Yeah, don't worry about the septic thing. I can figure that out. I mean, I've done it before, so.
Yeah, so I mean, but it would just be nice after that to just take a little break or something.
Well, don't forget, you got this window to do. You got the deck out there to do. But I got some other stuff, but it's all woodwork. It's no tile work. So you'll probably enjoy that a little bit more.
Okay, so we got sex and space.
Hold on. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Over to my far right-hand side is IT Dan.
Yes, hey, I'm having a great time. I'm just worried I might get wet when I go outside.
I know,
and I might melt.
It's storming out there. The storm's coming through here, and hopefully it'll lower the temperature here on the French. Now, for all the musical artists that you heard here on Deacon Live, don't forget they're all independent artists, and we appreciate them. And I want you guys to show your appreciation for them as well. And the way you do that is go over to profradio.com, click on the homepage, and all the bands that you hear, you can hear them live on the station as well. Now, Dan, what's one of your favorite artists that you've heard here in the last couple weeks or so?
Tanner Weatherby, I like.
You like them?
I like them, yeah.
They got a good sound to them.
And a lot of them are good. It's just it hits my style. There's certain things I like.
And most of them, or I say most of them, all of them are very, very well produced. I mean, you, if I was to say this song's played on the air, like national radio broadcast, and then this song is played on our internet broadcast on iHeartRadio, you're like, I can't tell the difference between the two. They're so well produced.
Yeah, they are well made, well produced.
Now, something that's well made and well produced is the the International Space Station that's up there. I mean, I think I read an article that said there's more people floating around in space right now than any time in history of the space program.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, because I told you.
But I remembered that you told me, which is a good thing.
Now, one thing that you think about is they always say, I remember being in elementary school when we had an astronaut, and the first question that the kids always ask, how do you poop? How do you pee? Because that's all that's on, elementary school's kids' mind, and they say, well, we have this, and we have a toilet and all this stuff. Now, us as adults, then, we raise our hands and go, how do you...
Yeah, how do you have sex out in space?
So let's talk about sex in space. It's a natural part of every human in space exploration, but it still remains taboo. Here's what we know and what we don't know. Now, German astronauts, right now, they're getting ready to set up to actually do the deed in space.
Okay, husband and wife?
Well, let's get into this article and we can find out. German astronaut, you're going to have to read these names for me.
His name is Matthias Maurer.
And he breezes through the interviews, rarely missing a beat when journalists ask a question about his upcoming 6-month trip to the ISS, International Space Station. One topic throws everyone in a momentarily silence.
Yeah.
Sex drive in space.
Yeah, we haven't talked about this because it's a professional environment, he replied. Whether astronauts can change insights on how to handle their desires, but thanks to commercial space flights, more people are entering the cosmos than ever before.
Yeah, they just had SpaceX just flew up like 4
tourists.
And then they flew them right back down, or dropped them basically in the ocean.
And 10 years now, the first crew of astronauts will likely set off for a mission to Mars that could last multiple years, And I mean, sexuality is part of human nature and inevitably factors into space missions, and they're just wondering whether anyone is going to do that. But I can't see being up there that long and being together where someone hasn't done it.
Well, here's the thing. This is what's going on, and this is what hasn't already happened. Now, we can only speculate because, likely in space it's already happened, and there's 2 space missions that jump out as candidates for this cosmic mission. Now, the coitus itself, in 1982, Russian cosmonaut Svetlana
Savitskaya.
is the only
I went to school with her.
was the second woman ever to be in space to be joined in space for 8 days with 2 male colleagues. Jesus Christ, you want to talk about sex in the workplace? When she arrived, making it the first co-ed space mission ever. Now, in the book that this gentleman wrote right here, a German astronaut, what's his name?
Ulrich Walter.
He notes that the team's doctor,
Oleg Georgievich Gazenko.
the flight was planned with a sexual encounter in mind. Basically, they shoot these 2 guys and a girl up there, and basically saying, "Hey, take your pick," or who's going to get what. And
I'm just thinking of something white and sticky and gooey floating all around in the air, and everyone trying to. I'm not touching it. You go get it.
The second mission took place in 1992, so this is a little bit more recent on the NASA Space Shuttle Endeavour. It was launched with a married couple on board. Mark Lee and Jan Davis, both astronauts, met at NASA. They married secretly the year before liftoff, and their joint flight in space was particularly their honeymoon is what they were doing.
Yeah, but you can assume that sex in space is a reality, but how different is ours on Earth? Let's start with the basics. Sex drive. Little public available motion we have, information indicates that being in space leads to reduced libido, at least at first. That's because microgravity, that's the weightlessness astronauts experience in space, causes hormonal changes like decreases in estrogen.
Decreases in
estrogen. Low estrogen levels have been linked to a drop in sex drive. So I think maybe after a while they're in space, it's going to change,
So that's because, unfortunately, as we know it, hormones in space come from, the tests on men that they've dropped also 11.5% in astronaut females as well. So I guess the cosmic sex drive is an internal clock. Everything's kind of messed up. I don't know. So what they're trying to do is these 2 cosmonauts, are they cosmonauts? No, they're German astronauts are going to go up there and spend 6 months, and they're going to figure out whether they can have sex in space or if it's possible. Because, we're now getting into with SpaceX getting on board and sending people up all the time. And we're going to have this big launch to Mars, and, it's going to take a year or 2 to get to Mars, and there's sexual drive. Or is it going to be like what they used to give the sailors? Back in the early days of discovering the America, where they used to put what was it called, saltpeter?
Yeah.
In their food, and even the Marine Corps, and then the Army, and our own military force, we used to put saltpeter in the food so they wouldn't be horny.
I'm just figuring the robot voice going, warning, warning, intruder alert, intruder alert. We'll have to see what happens.
Sorry, Dan, you can't go there. What do you mean? Dan, I'm surprised you can't go there. You're not allowed to go there. So that's what's happening.
Okay, we will not have a Uranus joke in there.
Now, Dan, do you like hot sauce?
I like it. It doesn't like me.
So you don't like spicy stuff?
Mildly spicy, yeah.
Now, I love hot sauces. My wife every year will buy me whatever it's at, whatever. Like Kohl's always has like a 15 bottle display of all these different hot sauces that you've never heard of before, and you won't see them until next year again.
And with all the warning labels on it.
And then there's a hot sauce stores that are in all those tourist towns. Come see and you can taste the hot sauces and everything. You look at the labels and you're like going, "Oh, I want this one because it says anal butt ripper on it."
Yes,
that type stuff.
Atomic and the skull and bones.
Yeah, and it's like everyone's, "I can do that," and the guys are like, "No, I just want a nice, agreeable, nice flavor. I don't want anything too stupid, too hot. I don't want to breathe." So I have always looked for Louisiana hot sauce. That's my hot sauce to go. My secondary is Frank's hot sauce.
And what about is it Cactus Pete's or something like?
Oh, Texas Pete. I don't even
okay.
That's watered down hot piss. I mean, basically is what that is. I'm sorry, Texas Pete.
I'm glad you know what piss tastes like.
I'm sorry, Texas Pete. And the funny thing is, when we went to actual New Orleans, we had an Uber driver, and it was like maybe a 5-mile trip from the airport. We had an Uber driver, black girl, I should say, is very young. And she's like going, "Oh, you're going to have the gumbo? You're going to have all this stuff?" And then she's like, "I need to ask you a question. What's your favorite hot sauce?" And I said, "Well, mine is Louisiana hot sauce." She gave me a high five. And I'm like going, "Why?" She goes, "Because all the restaurants sell what they call Crystal. You've seen it with the green or white label with the green logo on it. Look up Crystal hot sauce. And that's what's taken over the commercially in the Louisiana area. Now, from hot sauces, Taco Bell actually released their actual hot sauces in bottles. You have it's available at Walmart. It's available at I think Kroger's has it.
Okay.
You see it?
I have not actually seen them anywhere before.
Well, it's kind of like the Texas Pete. It's watered down hot sauce. But right now, all Flamin' Cheetos and Dorito hot sauces are coming. So here is a brand, the Cheetos Flamin' Hot Sauce, Doritos Hot Sauce, and Doritos Flamin' Hot Sauce is coming out. I would try these in a heartbeat.
Oh. And I have seen, I mean, when I see the Doritos in the store, they have the flaming hot. So this is probably the same.
This is the actual
flavor.
The same hot sauce flavor. Instagram food experts say they have stumbled upon what appears to be legit products. Shots of Cheetos Flamin' Hot Sauce, Doritos Spicy Nacho Hot Sauce, Doritos Flamin' Hot Nacho Sauce, which is a mouthful to say in itself. At this time, there's not much details surrounding the availability, but it looks like these hot sauces are going to be on the horizon. And I would buy these because they're...
And you would put them on the chicken and your fish on your macaroni diet.
I don't know if I would put them... I'd normally put hot sauce on my tuna. I like hot sauce, so I'll try to put it on everything. I'll try to work it in on anything. But here you go.
We'll have to stand by and see what happens.
So they're putting this out there, and just in time for Christmas. Now, you know, the holidays are coming up right around the corner. Dan, for Thanksgiving, what do you do? Do you have family that comes over or anything?
We always...
I don't want. If you say no, I don't want to make it depressing.
We make a turkey, and just me and Kathy usually. We just have a quiet Thanksgiving.
Now, what size bird do you get?
I'll just grab a 10-pound. We like leftovers,
and you like the dark meat, don't you?
I love it's juicy. It has so much more flavor to it.
Now, my wife,
the white meat is dry as
well. Yeah. It's because you haven't done it right. You've overcooked it. You haven't prepared it right. Now, my wife and I, we do Thanksgiving here at the French, and her nieces and her sister-in-law come up
from Florida.
Yes. And they spend like 3 days here, and we'll do 2 turkeys because we want leftovers. Now I'm thinking this year I might want to do a full turkey and a breast because you can buy just the breast alone.
Yeah. Now you have a fryer, a deep fryer.
We have an oven, and we have a grill, and we have a smoker. So I like to do maybe one in between. We've done the grease. The oil fryer, yeah. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and it's dangerous too. A lot of people got hurt pretty bad. Our best turkey we ever had was one in Vermont when we had the wood fired. We had a wood stove that had an oven in it, old-fashioned wood stove, and we had that, and we used apple wood. I used all wood from the apple trees, and that was the best tasting turkey I ever had.
Now, as grocery stores continue to struggle with supply chain issues, increased consumer demand, and influxing or fluctuating prices on products, retailers have been placing orders to make sure that they have their Halloween or their Thanksgiving turkeys here right away in time for the season.
I'm seeing empty shelves in different places. Also saw at Lowe's today, I saw Christmas trees. They were putting out Christmas trees.
No, I don't think they're coming shortage here. Tops Friendly Markets, right before the bell rang on the 2021 brand new year, they were putting in their orders that February for turkeys coming up here in the next couple months or two. Now, we are in the middle of September, so October, they're saying, hey, look, turkey's going to start rolling in for your Thanksgiving weekend, which is, of course, 60 days later. They're saying that the shortage is going to be pinching, so it's going to be here soon. So for more on this, let's listen to this article right now.
Chase First Banking, a debit card and app for kids, and tools for you to teach them good money habits. Set account alerts, savings goals, allowances, and chores from your Chase mobile app, all with no monthly service fee. Chase First Banking.
So here you go.
Sticker shock at the supermarket. As experts predict grocery prices already rising will soar even higher later this year. Our business correspondent Rebecca Jarvis is tracking the story. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, George. Yeah, and if you've been inside of a supermarket
Deacon,
like
Dan.
this one in the last 6 months, you know this to be true. Prices are climbing, but according to one of the largest grocery chains in the country, they will continue to rise over the rest of this year. Kroger says that their inflation will soon become customers' inflation in the coming months. As we've seen these prices climb at grocery stores across the country, they are expected to continue climbing there as well. One of the biggest culprits is beef prices, meat prices. Beef prices are up 14% so far this year. Pork prices versus last year up 12%. Poultry up 6.6%. And it's not just there. It's also in the fresh fruit aisle. Those prices up 5.2% from last year. George, there is one area where we have seen prices decline. That is fresh vegetables. Those prices down 0.6% from last year, George.
Rebecca, what's driving the inflation?
Biggest thing are the supply shortages we're seeing throughout the supply chain. Transportation, warehouse costs are rising. We've had weather issues that are also driving down the ability to get the supplies. And some chains like Kroger say they're also dealing with theft that is driving up prices. They had held on as long as they could without passing these price increases off to consumers. But George, the inflation is just too great. And now it's time for the customers to pay, they say.
There you go. So, I mean, prices of
I've noticed grocery shopping.
Have you really?
It's higher, yeah. I mean, Aldi's is doing really well. Some of the prices are still the same, but I am seeing things higher.
Well, maybe, my wife has signed up for that Factor meal plan where they send you like 8 meals a week and you can do with them what you want. But she said, I didn't realize it. Dan, it's about $100 a week. Once you get off the promotion thing, it's about $100 a week. I said, all right, fine. If we can lower our shopping bill $60, that's
only $40.
That's only $40 that you're physically not having to worry about buying all the spices, all the foods and stuff. And she gets 8 meals a week. Now, 8 meals, how many days in the week?
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, she might eat them. So she'll every day, every week has $3 or 3 meals that are rotating over to the next week. And so,
Has she lost any weight?
it's not a weight issue, Dan. It's a healthy choice.
Is she feeling healthier?
She loves it.
Okay.
Other than that one that she got, she loves it. She's like, they're filling, they're very delicious. For me to make this at home, to buy this at one time, it would cost so much money.
And especially after her long hours, what do you want to spend? 45 minutes cooking something? Yeah.
And the other day, she normally puts all the chickens and the meats and all the red meat stuff in the microwave and heats it up. All the fish or any kind of seafood that she orders, she puts it in the oven because she doesn't want to microwave it and make it smell like what I call a WH.
Okay.
You know what a WH is?
Whorehouse?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, speaking of whorehouse, the California coast is getting bombarded with all these freight liners that are coming in, these overseas boats, and what they're telling you right now, speaking of getting your orders in quickly, because of Thanksgiving, Christmas is right after that. So you've got only, less than 30 days or just over 30 days to get your Christmas orders in.
And 70% of anything that you see, touch, eat, or feel comes by boat in America.
The backlog of cargo ships waiting to get into the ports in Los Angeles and Long Beach is helping drive up the cost of goods, services during this pandemic. A record 70 cargo ships carrying everything from furniture, electronic toys is facing delays in the ports, which can only handle 40% of the nation's imports at any given time. The backlog of this likely injection of chaos to the holiday shopping season, they're not ready for it.
No, and the shipping traffic is up 50% from pre-pandemic level. So there's more shipping going on. I mean, we're buying stuff, and they just can't handle all the cargo.
Why do you think there's more stuff being bought from overseas than any given time?
Well, I think a lot of people here aren't working. I mean, there's a lot of people passed away. There's a lot of people that don't want to go to work. I mean, open is
where are most people at any given time during the day?
Right now they're home all day long.
So how do you buy stuff if you're at home?
You order it from Amazon.
And then where's that coming from?
Yeah, from China.
There you go. So that's what they're seeing. So they're seeing an influx, which is great for Amazon. I mean, crazy.
Yeah, and we have a shortage of truck drivers. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things to factor into this. So
now, last but not least, Dan, how would you like to make some money?
Oh, I'd love to make some money. I got to talk to you about getting a raise. Yeah.
Now,
oh, no.
How would you like to make some money for doing your TikTok videos and not worry about, having 1 million some odd subscribers? How would you like to make money just having yourself in wherever location you are and making some money?
Oh, yeah, that would sound like a good idea to me.
So, PBR, are you familiar with PBR, Dan?
Pabst Blue Ribbon?
It is Pabst Blue Ribbon, which for the longest time they were like a lowercase beer. They've made, kind of this cult classic of I'm old school, I drink PBRs. I know that when I was working in the clubs in Orlando, all your normal 12-ounce, Miller Lights and stuff were $3, but PBR tall boys were $2.50. Guess what? Everyone was walking around with.
Yeah, the cheap ones.
The cheap ones that are like the taller, more alcohol. Now, I picked that up. Hold on.
Like you know anything about alcohol.
That's bad luck for me. So the beer brand has just launched this unique, somewhat dystopian ad campaign. Now, for all of you that don't know, if you're watching your Facebook feed or anytime you go on someone's website, you always see, like, for example, right here on the right-hand side, you have ad choice. Ad choice, there's big fat cats out there that spend money to collect your data. For example, Dan's looking for a purple mattress, so anytime he goes to a website that's got ad choice on the left-hand side or the right-hand side of the page, you'll see advertisements for purple mattress, right?
Oh, I'm seeing ads for grout tools for tiling.
Right.
I'm seeing anything that you're involved with, you're going to see ads pop up on your screen.
So PBR goes, you know what everyone's doing right now? We were talking about everyone sitting at home and doing all these TikTok videos. Everyone's working from home. Everyone's buying stuff from home. Everyone's doing all these videos, Zoom calls, all this stuff. PBR says, we will pay you to put up our beer ads in your home.
But you have to go print it out, or how? No,
they send it to you. So what's happening is people are giving brands free advertising all the time. For example, anytime you see like a cooking video on TikTok, they say, I'm taking Hidden Valley Ranch, light dressing. I'm going to squirt this in here. I'm going to add mustard to it. I'm going to add, and then I'm going to get this right here, this little, and then
Grey Poupon mustard.
Yeah,
and
we'll put that in there, and then it's free advertisement for those vendors. Great, that's fine, but PBR is trying to take advantage of it. So obviously, you wear t-shirts like I am right now. I'm wearing the MTV t-shirt. You wear stuff all the time, and you're advertising, not knowing that you're actually advertising for something. So Pabst Blue Ribbon, the once old school beer that everyone has come to love, is forward thinking. Right now, believes that, yes, everyday customers should be rewarded for promoting their very loved PBR beer. Now, starting today, the brewer launching a unique, somewhat dystopian advertising campaign where they will actually pay the customers to place logos of the PBR in your home. Now, I'm talking now, let's see when this article was made. So, actually, yesterday at midnight.
Like product placing in the movies.
Yeah, yes, it is. Now, up until September 24th, so what's September 24th? So that's Friday. Yeah. PBR is giving away free beer branded stuff at pbrinhomeadvertising.com while supplies last. Now, this allows the customer to plaster all the, they almost, in my mind, I think they're like going to be, what is the static stuff? You put peel the
static cling.
Yeah,
stuff,
static cling. You put it on there, but they're huge. Yeah. They're huge. Yeah. So what they're going to do is, hold on. No, I don't want to sign up. Each of the correspondents' monetary value will depend on how many times, they see it and all that stuff. You can earn anything up from $10 to $50 depending on what you're actually putting in your house.
So they're paying the little guys instead of the big fat media cats.
Exactly, exactly. Now, Dan, I'm going to sign up for it right here. Let's see. Here we go. And for more information, we're going to watch this video so you can see it and we can all be friends. If you guys are interested in doing this in your TikTok videos and your YouTube videos, let's see what happens. Oh,
if you're a rich person who doesn't need money, please look away as the following message is not for you. Introducing the newest money-making scheme from PBR, in-home advertising. After learning the average normal non-rich person spends 12.4 hours inside their home every day, we've radically altered our advertising approach to exploit every square inch of their common household goods and spaces. Turn your home into our effective ad space and get paid. Turn your fridge into a PBR billboard. Look inside of it and monetize your mayonnaise with one of our advertisements. Get paid to change your Wi-Fi network name to a PBR slogan. Yep, it's real money to put an ad there. And there. Even here. Go to PBRinHomeAdvertising.com to check out the many advertisement options available to you. In-home advertising from Pabst Blue Ribbon, because we could all use some extra dollars. And our beer advertisements could use a home. Your home.
There you go, Dan. You want to sign up for it?
You know what? You get that stuff shipped to your house, you put it in a box, and 10 years from now, you turn around and sell it on eBay because nobody has it anymore, and they've...
Well, let's see. Here's the actual website. Enter for your chance to get paid real money and put our articles in your home space. You ready? Here we go. Here's the bathroom. So what do you see right here? Here's a towel, bath towel, toilet lid, printed paper towels.
Sold out.
Yeah, I know. Fluffy mat, I know. I think well, this just came out yesterday. It's already sold out. Look at this. Shower curtain for your bathroom. I might have to check back on it because they might reissue it again. Here's a toothbrush, PBR toothbrush in the kitchen. You can put stickers on your banana. Look at all these stickers. You're not looking, Dan. Pay attention. Yep. We got a live show going on here. Yep. And cutting board, something to put on your refrigerator, on your dishwasher, on your oven. Here's a tablecloth.
I can just imagine put it on your refrigerator, go to peel it off, and there goes your stainless steel thing.
This is what I want right here. This sleep mask. I sleep with a sleep mask every night. Look right here. Dreaming of cool. It should say passed out with cool PBR. There's a nightlight, ceiling decal, bed sheets, duvet cover. My wife probably used one of those when the neighbors come over. Beer blinds. Let's see. TV ad. PBR carpet. You can see all this stuff.
Floor decals. Yeah.
And everything is sold out for now. I'm saying for now. But if check back out on it. Let's see. What is it called? PBR in-home advertising.com. And maybe you can make a little bit of money. We'll check on it. And you might see some PBR logos here in the studio. And the way you see us is go to profitradio.com. You can see every podcast we do has a matching video as well. Now, Dan, we're going to let everyone get back to what they got to do.
Yeah, it's been a blast today. It's been good.
You have anything last to say? Wrap anything up? Anything to add?
No, my wife's been calling me. I have to see what's going on.
All right. On behalf of IT Dan.
Yes. Good night. It's been a ball. Thank you.
You want to say thanks for listening or anything?
Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the family.
My name's the Deacon saying goodnight and goodnight.
Wait. Come back.
The
I didn't have
absolute end.
any of the show.
What?
I got to see what Kathy wants.
What do you mean, what does she want? She just texted you an hour ago or 30 minutes ago. What does she want? She wants you to bring home something. This is going to be good.
Hello. What address did you see for sale on Woodrun, Cresswell Road?
The one right next to Karen, because it shows an aerial view.
What?
And, let me see.
Where is it at? What website?
I just looked at it. It's new. 242 Cresswell.
Okay.
And it shows it right next to Karen's house. And it looks like a
Yeah.
big double lot, and then that single lot that
Yeah.
you wanted. And then you can see our yard with the big bent tree.
Okay.
Tell her they charge her extra for looking over.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at it. And are you on what website are you on? What does it say at the top on it?
You want to call me back?
Yes, but I'm just trying to look at it. But what website is it looking on top? What does it?
I'm going back in.
Yeah, on Zillow. Okay. Okay. Two.
Interest sale on Zillow, and it was on.
Okay. Oh, that's 42,000 for 0.68 acres. But I don't think that's. I don't think that's perked. You know, someone may try and sell it. Doesn't mean it's perked. When I get home, I can
Well-
look and see if it's perked.
A,
Yeah.
a property.
Yeah.
That's what I went on was land for sale by owner.
Yeah.
A property won't have a physical address unless it perks.
Yeah.
So if the property doesn't perk, it's a parcel address.
Yeah. Travis said that it won't have a lot number unless it's perked, but I'd have to look at it and see what it
If
says.
it's like 312-444-511.
That's if you get the one in Tillery Tradition, you have to pay like $200 or $300 a month in golf fees. That's part of the community, the golf community.
No, it showed it. I sent it to you. Everything
Yeah.
you
Okay.
have to pay to play golf. Just
Yes, I think you do. Okay, I don't know everything, Kathy. I don't know everything.
I do.
I know. Well, let me.
I'm just looking at stuff.
Oh, I know.
I'm tired of the people that are moving in next to us, behind us, and they're total complete. You see what their yards are looking like. They're hillbillies.
I know they're hillbillies. They're rednecks. I don't mean you, Travis. Sorry.
It's all right. I'm a hill neck or a red belly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying. Let me just. Yes, I know. Well, you called, and I thought it was a big deal because you called me. So when I get home, I will look at this. So, if you hang on 1 second, I can tell you. Fucking hang up on me. It's not the one next to us. There's going to be one in between us.
But yeah, Amy says, because we were looking at the property back there,
Yeah.
the wedge,
Yeah.
The county cannot assign a property a physical address, like 123 Smith Street, unless that property's perked for a house. So up until that point, it has a lot or a parcel number. So it's like I said, 35-4225- whatever.
Yeah.
But if it has a physical address, then the place has been perked and can sustain a house on it.
.68 acres. Because this is not showing anything that's. The guy bought it for $6,000 and wants to sell it for $42,000.
What year did he buy it?
I don't know. She thinks that we're going to go somewhere else, and you have control over who your neighbors are and what's going.
Never gonna happen.
You buy an island.
I mean, look at what we're dealing with next door.
Yeah.
He said, I'm either gonna quit my job and live here as long as I can, or I'm gonna sell the place, take my loss, and you're gonna have someone else live next door to you. I'm like going, dude, whatever you gotta do, man.
Yeah. No, and I understand his point and feeling. It's just I just don't know. I mean, you said he just what was that $450,000 mortgage he took out?
After he refinanced.
Yeah. So that's not something you come up with working at even if he came in